Hello, everyone. Welcome to the GLORIO Chat, the best anime podcast on the internet. Hikaru, thank you for holding it down in my absence on the last episode. But,
of course,
once again, the revolution has failed as it always does. I'm back.
Starscream is here to serve once again.
I'm back once again. I'm very
I've
upset.
Lived through so many regimes at
Yes,
this point.
I'm very upset. I missed
in any age.
I missed the season wrap up podcast. So real quick, I have 3 extremely hot one-line takes I want to read. I will take no further discussion or questions on them. I'm just going to state them.
Oh dear.
And we can move on to the new season, right? So, all right. Number 1. Kowloon Generic Romance and surprise hit video game Clear Obscure Expedition 33 are basically the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2. Raka's Lady's Modesty would have been the best anime last season if not for Apocalypse Hotel, and it's not even close.
All right.
Strong endings, people. Strong endings. Real quick, the last episode they do a battle of the bands with these rich YouTube boys that started a band, and they beat them by making their female audience gay, and then then they decide rich people are bad and the whole Ojo-sama thing is pointless and they just need to rock.
Hell yeah.
Great.
Hell yeah.
Nice. And then finally, even after I adjusted my expectations for Gundam G-Quux, I still thought it was bad. And aside from laughing my ass off at the giant Gundam at the end, the quote I wrote down from when I was watching is, "This feels like the Star Wars prequels talking about midichlorians."
We were so close to having a podcast without having to talk about fucking Gundam.
I said I'm taking no further questions or discussion. We're gonna move on. Last season was good.
I will respect it.
Last season was good, and this season might be better. Maybe.
It's starting strong.
It's starting strong.
Don't jinx it.
We are at the summer 2025 season, as we say every time for the past 13 years, because happy anniversary to us. It's our 13th anniversary.
We're finally old enough to drink.
Finally old enough to enter a relationship with an adult.
I tried that last time.
We cannot.
I tried that last time, and they almost hung me, Aqua. So this is our 13th season. As we've said almost every year, summer season is usually not good, and this one looks like it is actually maybe good.
I feel like summer is usually nothing or everything, and there's zero middle ground.
Right. So, before we get into season 52 of the GLORIO blog, let's introduce everybody. I'm Gel. I am joined as always by Iro.
I'm still here. I'm not dead yet. I know everyone is checking out the hot new gacha game, and so I've decided to join everyone in the gacha craze, despite everything I've said, and I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I thought you said you were going to play the Honkai Star Rail Fate Stay Night event.
No, I never said that.
Yeah.
Who told you?
You're the Fate expert, but
yeah.
Which
what do you say, Iro? Are you really feeling it, or is it a load of bollocks?
No, I'm not really feeling it. There's a bunch of jokers over there.
All right.
I could go for something a bit meatier,
That is famously the one where they put gacha in a real ass video game, right?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, my understanding it's because 50% of the dev team was poached to work on Zelda, and so they outsourced to lots of different people.
You can't buy roles though, right? You have to.
No.
Yeah.
You
so
get them as drops.
It's all the fun of
treasure.
gacha without the way to escape using your credit card.
Right? I never got Cosmos.
That may be the worst part.
Cosmos has a 0.25% chance of dropping.
What a terrible
the idea of putting a gacha system in a single purchase, single player video game is one of the
stupidest, most unhinged.
I feel like there's a reason nobody has tried to emulate that since.
Yeah.
But I have now started on the DLC Torno of the Golden Country, which is immediately better because it does not star shithead child Rex, and instead opens with a lady kung fu kicking a pack of wolves.
Okay.
Because according to her, she was too broke to buy a sword.
Sure. You don't need a sword if you have your fists.
Yeah.
So
you know, to fist
your
the poor man's sword.
Yeah, your katana boyfriend or big brother / dad.
Okay.
Question mark.
There's a lot of terms there that don't. The Venn diagram on that maybe is not.
Blade.
Yes, I know.
They have a strange relationship.
My boyfriend /
who knows? It's unclear. Look, he practically let's not get into this.
Yeah,
he practically raised her.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
If anything, she's more chemistry with the girl Blade.
Oh, I love Bunny Drop.
Whoa!
All right, so we're also joined by G.
Well, I have great news.
Uh-huh.
I finally did it. My friendship has been ended with the Hoyoverse.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No longer do I require them in my day-to-day life.
Fate was the last straw.
Because now Uma Musume is my new best friend.
Oh, they got you,
You
G,
people
huh?
are a fucking disgrace.
All right, look.
You played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 before I did.
Look,
Oh, let's not talking about you.
believe it or not, I played Uma Musume for like 2 days. You'd think it would be a thing I would be into, possibly. And
No, not
I was
really.
like, this feels like a game from 10 years ago.
I mean, spoilers.
Weird.
It is.
I know, it
Fix the formatting on my. Is this a horse name or a ship name from Halo post?
Yes, right.
Here's the fucked up part. Now I'm like more informed. I would probably like
Do
now
better,
I know about both Halo and horses.
Yeah,
You have been horse built. You can.
Well, the horse pills are not an effective treatment for COVID. I tell you.
Well,
all right. Look,
no, I understand the appeal because it's just mechanically and everything. I'm like, I can't do this again. I can't go back.
they got me. Like I don't even like have like a good defense. It's not even a like. Well, actually, the mechanics are like. It's they just. Damn it! I just like these. I like these horse girls. They are quite charming.
They are very fun. It's similar to Blue Archive a little bit.
It's a little bit of that.
It's not the same, but it's kind of this similar sort of goofy energy.
So many of these horse girls are written as like dumb gremlin goobers.
Yes.
That like I am like I cannot help but like be like, you know what? Yes, Special Week. I want to see you make it to the top. I want to see you ganbare your way to the Euro finale.
You are not immune to Moe propaganda.
How often are these horse girls just like shitting all over the sidewalk as you're talking to them?
Turns out
metaphorically,
like,
you're just having your 5-star event and then it's just
they
like.
Turns out that's not one of
senpai.
the aspects they address in Uma Musume.
Because they're all the girls, they can't have the giant horse dicks, and instead they must have.
Hey.
They must have. Well, okay, as far as I know, let's say, but they have the other notable horse anatomy of an enormous colon to digest all that grass.
Well, yes, the horses do have gigantic appetites.
All right.
Yes, the like most common joke in Uma Musume is basically just, wow, that horse girl sure ate a lot of food, haha.
Yeah.
And yet somehow it gets me nearly every single time.
I'll say there was something very captivating about also the actual race itself. The way they they call it like a real horse race, except it's
do they have
anime girls. No, but they're like
because they're running by themselves.
Oh, okay.
But it's shot and like there's commentators that are commenting on it like it was like a real horse race. Like, and he comes around the thing. He's within 10, whatever.
And the most key thing is like you cannot control the horse girls, right? So you are training them. You are managing their condition, their training regimen. Their energy levels, and then once they hit the track, it's all on them.
Yep.
And look, I'll be real, right? This will probably like wear off in like I don't know a couple months, but like right now, it's like I am watching these horse girls run, and like I am like legitimately like fuck. I am like shouting like lock in Gold Ship, please just win Gold Ship. I am begging you. Please.
You gotta put on the mask of truth and pick them up one by one to ascertain their condition.
Gold ship is
I
universally
think you're just explaining
best one.
the appeal of real life gambling on horses.
Dude,
like
Gold
this is
Ship
the exact
so
same
goated.
thing.
I am like I think Gold Ship is the obvious one. Everybody loves Gold Ship, and turns out I love Gold Ship too.
Yes. Yeah, they put gambling in your gambling, right? So
yes.
Yeah.
So you can gamble while you gamble.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, this is going to be a long podcast, so I can save it for our next recording.
Yes.
Okay.
I have not just horse pilled in the game. What if I told you I have watched?
You bought a real horse.
Of Uma Musume Pretty Derby, the anime, and the OVA, The Promise of BNW.
Oh my god.
And I am currently working my way through season 2 of Uma Musume Pretty Derby.
You know what?
Can I stop being on this
You know what?
podcast?
You know what? What if that's Xenoblade Chronicles 3 future redeem?
All right. We're gonna put a bookmark on that one and come back next time.
Next week, next podcast, Reggie is destitute from hitting the horse races.
I'm processing this information. I think I'm proud of you, G. You're just embrace it. Don't if you're having fun, don't fight it. Just embrace it. That's my
bro. I got so just wait, because I'm still working my way through season 2. Don't worry, this is perfect because by next podcast, I'll have so many things to say about Tokai Teo. So
well, I'm so glad you're happy, Shizukapi.
Let's keep moving. We'll come back to Horse Girls next time.
What is wrong with Oguri Cap? What is that girl's problem?
I thought you were all about no cap.
All right. We're also joined by Aqua.
I'm so happy I could finally be here for a season first look show where I've actually watched more than 2 shows on the sketch.
Yeah, right. Anime.
I'm a fraud, people. Don't listen to me.
Anime. It might be good now.
Yeah.
Well, it might be good now, but I did want to do one more thing before we get into the new anime. It's a summertime tradition.
Mm-hmm.
We started this on our 10th anniversary, where we look back 10 years ago to anime that were airing 10 years from today. So I want to do a very quick look back as part of our anniversary celebration here to anime that were airing in summer 2015.
All right, hit us.
And this was not one of the good summers.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
So I'll hit the top 5 or 6 here first, and then I'll kind of hit the highlights. So I'm on anychartnet.net sorting by popularity. I'm a little surprised. Number 1 is Charlotte, the Jun Maeda original anime.
I did preview for that. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
That was I'm not surprised it's popular, but number 1 over some of these other names, because we've got
that took me a second.
Next one is, I think this was the first season of Overlord, which was very popular.
One of the
fucking Isekai Patient Zero.
Yeah,
one of them. Yeah.
Prison School.
Oh my god!
Gets cosplay to this day. So
I don't know if this probably wasn't the first season, but all the way down at number 4, Dragon Ball Super.
Oh my god! Actually, it might have been.
It might have been.
That might actually light up.
And then Shimoneta, A Boring World Where the Concept of Dirty Jokes Doesn't Exist, which is a show that I wouldn't be able to tell you what it was based on the title, but if you saw the art, you'd remember right away. There's the girl.
That sure is a show that was the new hotness for 3 months, where everyone went ha ha, ha ha, insert voice actress here saying pubic hair, ha ha.
It's it's got the art with the girl with the panties on her head running around.
Yeah.
Another great one, Gate. Yep.
They've announced the spin-off of that, by the way, so we're not rid of that.
Oh no, that's still okay. And then
what a season of winners.
Okay, so this was okay. Snow White with the red hair.
Oh yeah, that was totally fine.
That one was pretty. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Was that the beginning of the the Sayori Hayami show
Ooh, I think so.
as a genre.
Wait, no, wait. I was gonna say Kimi Todoki, but that's Mamiko no To, not sorry.
Like-
so I
like-
think maybe so. Yeah.
Like Sayori Hayami as a genre. Was the thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay, we're back on it. Himoto Umaru-chan.
No, go away. I just remember what was the, this was.
What
This is
that
post
one
Love Lab, right? I just remember
Yes,
us watching one episode of that because they're like, "Well, Love Lab was fun,"
That was the
and then
that was
we just watched this, and it was like having our throats stabbed with
the,
a pencil.
the little blonde gremlin girl with like the orange hoodie that looks like a
Oh, the orange hoodie girl.
Yeah,
Yes, the
and-
chibi. Yes.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
and Monster
hell.
Musume Everyday Life with Monster
Oh
Girls.
my god!
Man,
Man alive.
Speaking of horse genitalia,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right.
Boom.
I'll hit
Monster Girls are old news. Get them out of here.
True.
I'll hit a few other ones here. You guys remember Gangsta?
I do remember Gangsta.
You know what? I do, in fact, remember
Yeah.
Gangsta.
are you an S-rank gangsta?
Yeah, that was like a
Gangstar.
6, maybe 7 out of 10 show, but on grading on a curve here, one of the better ones. Shout out to School Live, if you remember that one.
Oh sure, yeah.
That was
Jill,
the
did anything good air this season?
School Live was alright. That was fun. One of the many forgotten seasons of Dra-Ra-Ra.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
was
like the
that-
later seasons.
Yeah, it's like the second
I
part
watched
of
all
like
those.
season 3 or whatever, one of those other.
Oh,
No,
watched
they only
it.
did a
Okay.
season 2, but it was three parts.
Right,
I think.
yeah, or a second part of season 2.
I'm
or
seeing
something.
here. I'm seeing here. Yeah, this is the second part of season 2.
Uh,
Durara kind of fell apart, but it had some really good bits. Right,
It had its
throughout.
moments.
Yeah.
Like the first season was great. This was, I think the problem with that second season was mostly that production-wise it was such a disaster. It just wasn't engaging, no matter what the
Right.
story actually was.
It took it spiked a few times where I was like, yeah, this is what I want, and it just was not that most of the time. Right.
Mhm.
the third
Beat
and
the shit out of you,
was it- I don't
that's
remember
all
if
you needed.
I don't remember if it was the last season, but the third season of Working. You remember that
Jesus.
anime?
Didn't they make a fourth one?
Oh, maybe the fourth
I don't
one was
know.
the last
Probably, I
one,
don't
yeah.
fucking know.
Yeah.
I did watch to the end, but that show was mid. Ushio and Tora. You remember that?
Hey,
That was-
Oh yeah,
That's
that
weird.
anime.
I have a weird soft spot for that thing. It's such
Yeah.
a like
It was
because it's an '80s shonen, right? Like
right. Like it's a thing of like it was so by the book. Like I don't know. Aaron, I think we probably
Yeah.
probably after like the first season.
I,
but
I,
it just
I did
was
watch it all on my own. Like
Oh, okay. There's a weird charm to the like straightforwardness of it.
yes,
yeah.
the like villain design in that the final boss is a like design that has been referenced everywhere.
Oh, sure. Gotcha. Okay.
It's like that big, toothy, sharp snout, mouth, with the big eyes. Like, let me just grab a
Yeah.
great audio.
No, this is fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I am
Like-
actually curious because.
Um,
Oh yeah, this
and like I believe this does
yeah.
predate like Berserk, so it's like
Wow. Okay.
yeah, it's like it
Damn.
is.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It was. They were a great villain, to be honest.
That was a
But,
very refreshing throwback at that time.
right.
when came
Is
out,
it
yeah.
is it
Yeah.
good? I might still give it only a 3 out of 5, but like I had a good time.
Timing
right?
was
Might
everything.
give it there is a reason why they never adapted this when it was relevant.
They did. It was an OVA. And
Oh, right.
Yeah.
but
was,
it so it only
okay.
came out a little bit, right?
Was Lupin the Third Part 4 one of the bad ones, if I remember?
It was one of the bad ones.
No,
That was the Italy one. It
Well,
was,
my
it was the
understanding
one
is
we didn't
people
really
like
care
it.
for.
Right. I
Yeah.
didn't really
okay.
care for it. I know some people who
mean-
are much deeper into Lupin than I, and they swear by Part 4.
But you guys really like
Well,
5, right?
5 is
Yes.
so good.
Yeah.
5 is the good one.
Five is I think about this every 3 months and go, damn,
Okay.
it was good.
Yes, every like I would say every 2 to 3 months I hear the line. So everybody in the world is
a
a cop now.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
4
And then-
is fine. I think it's just 4 is like it suffers like 4 like tries to be the modern reboot essentially.
it kind of was.
And it's like if you tell someone, hey, I really want to like get into Lupin, where do I start? You could tell them to start with part 4 because like it's not bad, but like I don't think it ever really crests into like truly great territory.
I mean,
but
the thing with Lupin is like it doesn't really need an introduction. You can watch any Lupin thing.
Right.
Yeah, and so that's why I say you just
understand.
watch part 5 instead.
Yeah,
which is about we kind of we cannot litigate part 5 again. Part 5, which is about the legacy and the many forms he has taken. Yeah.
Right. And then finally, by far and away the best show on this list, and also almost at the bottom of the popularity, Gatchaman Crowd's Insight.
Hey.
The second season of Gatchaman Crowds, which is better than the first season. So someday I will get you guys to watch that.
I still literally last week I was thinking about the Tatsunoko like remake scale of Sins, Crowds, and Nyaight. Where are you on the
this is the best one.
Time Bokan 24.
Yeah. Sins, Crowds, Nyaight, or 24.
If you look at the timing of Gatchaman Crowds, like it's almost like I watched it again like maybe 2 years ago, and I was almost getting chills at how like they predicted so many things.
Is it like Death Stranding levels of prediction?
Because this is the second season, and it still aired before. I remember specifically, it was airing before Donald Trump was even being considered as a serious political candidate, and was still losing in polls to writing candidates such as D's Nuts. That was around the same time. And
pouring one out for Harambe, guys. You could have made it.
Fucking hell.
But Gatchaman Crowds is like it's
about that.
The first part is more about like social the world, humankind not being ready for social media, and how that changed.
We have connected.
How that basically how that has changed how we treat each other.
Connected?
But the second season, which I think is better, is the one that very specifically looks at how it has affected our specific election processes and like what
perception of information
and our specific election processes and like how we have pushed toward fascism, basically.
I'm sorry, the description here on any chart is so funny.
Yes.
We want to know about ourselves, about the fact there is no, quote, society, unquote, in our, quote, country, unquote, about, quote, society, unquote, and, quote, people, unquote,
this is telling
living in different worlds, feeling and reason. What is crucial is, quote, thinking, unquote, not, quote, worrying, unquote. Modern people are too, quote, fast, unquote. We breathe shallow and quick.
Yeah.
Quote, we, unquote, are terrible at being slow and deep.
Yeah.
Quote, we, quote, live in a, quote, society.
Snaps for Gatchaman Crowd's Insight.
Truer words have never been said.
Yep.
But yes, that show's fantastic. It's one of my like top 5 shows of the 2010s, and also one of my favorite OPs of all time. Shout out to Gatchaman.
Hey, and fittingly for this season, featuring a banger soundtrack by Taku Iwasaki.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. There you go. Yeah.
I will shout out one more thing on this list, which is not good and nobody else cares about, and I only care about because it could have been good. Chaos Dragon.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I was on the fence of mentioning on that one, but yeah.
Okay, you know what? There's one enduring thing about Chaos Dragon that we all love. It is the introduction of 7 blasphemous deaths.
Oh yeah,
7BD comes from that thing.
We got all the most insane writers of Japan together and made them play D&D.
It could have been so,
Yeah.
This is just cope. I'm sure the original version of that was sick, actually, but the like anime version was not good. But man, that could have been something. But 7 blasphemous deaths, Thanks, Rabuchi. Thanks, Thunderbolt Fantasy.
Yeah.
One of the best evil women to ever do it.
Well,
not as good as K-Guy.
I think there'll be a lot of evil women in this the rest of our podcast here. So let's dive into the summer 2025 season.
Let's finally do it.
Let's, now that we're 25 minutes in.
I know, yeah.
So we'll start with a few returning things, and we'll kick off with Dawn to Dawn season 2. I'm pretty checked out on Don to Don, but you guys are still watching. So how is season 2 looking? Are we just back in the?
It's Don to Don.
It shouldn't have taken a break.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The production-wise, it
Right.
seems to be having issues currently, and that a break did not seem to help. But pacing-wise, and how the show is constructed, the break did this absolutely no favors.
This was a terrible creative decision.
Yeah. So basically, somebody coming back to watch Don to Don years from now will just watch all of it. Could just watch it all
absolutely.
consecutively as if there was no break.
Yes,
ever, right?
the hypothetical complete Don to Don, that is just the first 2 curs put together,
Yeah.
I think is probably still a very entertaining experience. And to be clear, I think what is on paper, what is on screen, is still pretty good. Like, season 2 kicks up, it just picks up where it left off.
Yep. Bubbles in the bath.
That's a total anticlimax. It didn't amount to anything. Like, they do the whole scary, is she about to be assaulted thing. It's like taken care of in like 5 minutes, right? And then we get to like the real meat of like the conspiracy of this small town, and it's the typical like small town with a dark secret thing, right? This small town is committing human sacrifices, and like there's a there's a clash between a giant Mongolian death worm and a vengeful Japanese ghost who both have the power to like make people want to commit suicide.
The kill yourself beams cancel each other out.
Yes, and the ways in which like the sins of the past have come back to like haunt the people of the present, blah blah blah. Long story short, it's going to lead to a bunch of cool fights, right? Like, it's
I get the feeling this was sort of like a formulaic arc that sort of failed to do what the first 2 arcs did achieve, where it's like making you sympathize with the monster, whereas here it's more like, hey man, wouldn't it really be like fucked up if we showed people like hanging themselves because of this evil monster? And it's more concerned with the like disturbing imagery than with saying anything profound.
It's almost like comical. Because it's like, here's a new family, cut to them killing themselves. Here's a new family, cut to them killing themselves. Like,
this is like, I think we're actually going to talk about this a fair bit with this and the other high profile shonen here. Of like, this is the weird thing I think of, because in the manga, this is still relatively early in Don to Don's serialization, and we've run into this weird thing of like, this arc is also not particularly well regarded amongst fans. Like, it has some good moments, like the coming fight between Evil Eye and Okarun is generally it's considered one of like the better like just like battle shonen fisticuffs in the manga. But like the actual arc, the story, Gigi himself, not particularly loved, and it's always been considered one of those like weird kind of awkward early phases that I feel like we often see in a lot of shonen manga, where they have not quite found their footing. And I think in the manga, that's kind of okay, because it's a weekly, or you're catching up to it, and so you kind of just like binge through this section of the story relatively quickly. But the decisions of how Don to Don has been released, as we say, have done it no favors, because it is given like weird amounts of weight to like the wrong parts of this story.
Right.
And
this is framed as like this epic return, this and they're really pulling out all the slop. So, but the weird thing is that we get like a hyper animated fight between like Momo and these like comical old people from the village. And it's just like they do that because it's the first episode, but is it really the kind of story that deserves that kind of impact on the level with a season opener or a season finale, right? That's kind of the thing.
No, and the answer is no, right? Like,
and it's one of those weird natures of an adaptation, right? Of, well, this is like where we have, like this is where 12, 13 episodes gets us. And
I mean, this is like how the Chainsaw Man anime has to do the Reze arc as a movie now, even though you're like, yeah, sure, that's like an important arc, but also it's not
where you
like,
make a movie. Like,
Okay. Yeah. It's weird. And I think, like, I don't know what happened, behind the scenes at Science Saru or Shueisha or, whoever's pulling the strings here, but I think Don to Don probably would have been greatly helped by just pushing the entire, like, 26 episode run back to, like, this year. Like if they needed because if they needed those 6 months to make this second half, like if that's what's going on, like they should have just waited. I think because I just think that in hindsight, this show is going to flow so much better for somebody watching it as a cohesive whole.
The hypothetical Don that started this season and ends in December 6th, right?
When somebody's binge watching this.
Right, because the cynic in me tells me it doesn't fucking matter, because everyone is either going to binge watch this or only watch it to post the like hype aura moments on social media.
I'm kind of
narrative structure and pacing doesn't matter for this kind of show.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm a little bit there with you, Aqua, because like sometimes I have to remind myself that most people don't watch anime the day it comes out.
We do,
yeah.
So like, or even like the season it comes out, or whatever. They're not getting too deep into this, but there's been a lot of like articles and things coming out where like stuff like Crunchyroll's kind of getting their ass kicked right now by
a dying breed,
like Netflix and even Amazon, who has been getting the big shows the past couple. We'll talk more about that later.
By bigger companies that have more shows than just anime, and
it puts it out
economics 101.
And this isn't a bad thing, but it is putting it out more in the hands of people who are not as into anime as we are, where it's where we're watching it every week when it comes out, and they're probably just gonna, hey, I wonder if there's any cool anime I can watch, and it might be a year or two later or something. And
right, I mean, hell, I remember I was like this when I was younger. Like somebody would tell me about a show or whatever, and I'd be like, oh, like, is it done?
Yeah,
like,
oh yeah.
I mean, I've had that happen to me. I tell somebody about a show and they're like, "Oh, is it done? Can I binge?"
Yeah,
I'm like, no, it's still
my sister, who is a more casual anime fan, like she'll ask if there's any cool anime, and that is the first question she asks when it's just something. She's like, "Is it done?"
I think the interesting thing is that we're nowadays seeing a sort of shift in anime and anime fandom, the same shift that we saw in like video games 10 years ago, where nowadays in video games, there is an entire world out there of video games and people who play them that I know nothing about. Like, these people who play those games, they have nothing in common with me.
Yeah.
And that's not an indictment. That is just a sign of how big and diverse that world has become.
The medium has become large enough to become atomized. Like,
right.
Like sometimes people talk about being nostalgic for old series, and I think sometimes it's a combination of like, maybe that old series was legitimately great, but also there's a feeling that like there was once a time when a singular anime could like functionally unite the entire like anime watching like
yes,
right, because that community was a community of like checking seasonal previews and discussing the shows as they came out.
It is the foundation of which the GLORIO blog is built upon.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, for better or worse. I mean, we can talk about this when we get to it, but like, for example, Panty and Stocking was one of those shows back in the day. Like, Panty and Stocking was if you considered yourself an anime fan back in the day, that was expected watch. It was like, oh, like you are expected to watch this show to be a part of the community. And thus, whether you liked it or not, everybody had an opinion on that show. And nowadays, like, that's just not true. I mean, like, even the most popular anime in the world right now, which tragically appears to be Solo Leveling, none of us have watched or will ever watch. Like, it's mind-boggling how big anime has become as a medium.
Yeah, and there's probably a number of reasons.
Must
for
be
that,
said,
like Twitter
Solo
falling apart
Leveling
and stuff. But yeah, go ahead.
Still a Crunchyroll show.
The last bastion.
I mean,
I mean, it's just with the whole Crunchyroll thing is a whole other story. But like, right,
because let's be clear, Crunchyroll has done itself no favors. They are not a particularly sympathetic quote unquote.
You could say,
in this streaming war,
as the kids might say, they may have fumbled the bag, if you will. But
yes,
yeah. Anyway, I guess the point though with Don, it sounds like they lost some momentum by taking the break, right?
And I think it's like, to be clear, I think what we have seen so far has been like, you know, like decent to good. Like, I think despite, you know, the things I've heard about the production issues, like this is like Science Saru has still shown a like surprising capacity to like turn it on, to adapt to this kind of more shonen oriented like action style, like, and they have still shown the capability to get weird and cool and artsy when they want to. I think
this show is basically this season's Apothecary Diaries. I'll be like, oh yeah, there's a new episode of that. I like the characters. I have no real idea what the hell is going on, but it's fun to watch. They still like managed to make it look good despite the production being a train wreck behind the scenes. Yeah, this sort of has the same vibes to me as Mao Mao did.
Yeah, I could see that, because
in
I think
terms
I've
of just
also
like
heard,
you know, solid, you know what you're getting.
All faithful, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that's fair.
We will continue on then with Dawn to Dawn this season. So
despite everything.
Look, I just need that anime to get to the Deadly Dudes arc. And like,
are they going to make it there this season?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I said. I need this anime, and I need Science Saru to just keep it together long enough to get to the Deadly Dudes arc.
Okay, so they got to survive one more.
Do Deadly Dudes rock?
All right.
The Deadly Dudes rock.
Okay.
Let's move on to another returning show. My problematic fave with problematic in bold and capital letters. Call of the Night season 2. We're back. I think when I'm joking about problematic, I think sometimes as time goes on, I forget. It sounds really bad when you say it, and I have no excuses for this. But this show is essentially about a 14-year-old boy openly dating what is a 40-year-old woman,
right?
And it's kind of hard.
I mean, you want to get like the ethics of like immortals dating.
Yeah. Like the vampire thing has always been like,
I mean, that's like part of the text itself, man. As far back as the original,
I know that's just kind of a thing with vampires.
There is no vampire romance that is unproblematic. The vampire inherently represents things that should not be like.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are defending a lot harder than I will. I'm just gonna say if if you want to call me,
what's the status
a hypocrite or whatever, that's fine.
What's the status of Magane Colombo?
Okay, so we're back into this. So I was curious what they were gonna do, because at the end of season 1, there's like a little like 1-second teaser that Ko, the main kid, was like actually starting to transform. And now that we're back, I believe they just kind of did that as a, we don't know if we're going to get a season 2 moment, so we need to throw a little like, you know, bookend on this to let you know what's going to happen in the future. Because as we jump back into season 2, we're kind of like right where we left off, and he's not changed at all yet. But the other notable part about the end of season 1 is we kind of raised the stakes by bringing in Iroh, as you mentioned, who I lovingly refer to as Magane Colombo. Her real name is Anko, but you know, she looks like a disheveled, depressed detective, and she's voiced by Miki Sawashiro. You know, sorry, that made my brain shut off for a second there. What was I talking about?
The kids don't understand the name, like the power the name Yuki Sawashiro carries for the elder millennial.
But okay, yes. So she came in the last couple episodes of season 1 as the basically the villain of the series, because she is a vampire hunter, and and I'm sure nobody's going to remember this, but the kind of predicament that our main couple is stuck in at the end of the show is the little local vampire enclave that Nazuna belongs to is like, we can't have humans knowing about us. We have to kill this kid, but they come to this agreement that we'll give you 1 year to turn him into a vampire, because he wants to be a vampire.
So
but
my recollection of how vampires work in this is that you don't simply turn someone into a vampire.
Yes.
It's specifically like they have to fall in love with you.
Yes. So
and that will complete the transformation.
So
right. I was
so,
about to say, like,
so it's like partly about how like love is not just thinking that they're hot. Like true love is a like more fully encompassing like acceptance of their being or what have you.
Right. So that's where So a vampire can drink anybody's blood and it's not really going to do anything. But if the person is in love with the vampire, they will turn into a vampire. And so that is your convenient plot device to set up discussions on the nature of romance and relationships, and even like how you find things that make you happy and stuff like that, which that is to me the good meat of the show, which they have surprisingly mature, or at least mature by anime standards, discussions about that. And that's kind of the majority of the show is like the main two just hanging out in, the very vibey middle of the night in the city, walking around and talking about that kind of stuff. Right. So, but yes, that is the idea with vampires, how they work. So the vampire enclave is like, all right, we'll give you 1 year to turn him. If not, we're killing him. And on the flip side, we have Anko, aka Magane Colombo, who is the vampire hunter that shows up. And she's like, you got to get out of here, kid. Because if, I forget her exact terms, but basically, if you turn, I'm killing both of you. And so one way or the other, someone is going to try to kill him at the end of all of this. Okay. So, but the current task right now, because they say 2 months have now passed, so they have 10 months left to do this. And now the task is, how do I fall in love? Even though we're kind of already dating and probably kind of already in love, I still haven't turned into a vampire yet, right?
Objective: discover true love.
Yes. But I guess the key difference in season 2 right now is now they've like officially accepted this is the plan, right? So now so the first most of the first episode is them kind of what do we do now? Let's go on a date and stuff like that, and then episode 2 they start introducing some other plot threads to play around with, so it's not just that. Like there's another hot vampire lady, which I guess that's kind of rhetorical. They're all hot, right? Because they're vampires. But
like elves.
She's out here turning everybody. She has like over 50 vampire offspring.
My goodness.
She's got the high body count. And and one of the people she's kind of interested in is the main kid's friend, who is. It's interesting because his friend is probably the guy that would normally be the protagonist of the anime.
Oh yeah.
Whereas the main kid is probably a little more I don't know, jaded. But
sure,
so that starts to set up some potential conflicts to play around with as well. So we're not just kind of focused on one thing.
So does the love have to be like mutual, or is it just the bitten person has to love the vampire? Because
I don't remember, to be honest. I think it does have to be mutual, but I don't remember.
Damn, that lady's got a lot of love in her heart then, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't. I don't remember the exact.
That's true. I love you. I love all of you guys.
I mean that's already kind of
I love all of you equally.
I mean that's all kind of like a vague, like how you define that anyway,
sure,
right?
Yes.
But,
I mean, I'm not trying to actually interrogate it. I know it's just a setup.
Yeah, I actually don't remember what the exact rule on that is, but they imply in this. So what they kind of imply. So all this is used as, again, plot devices to talk about relationships, and basically, without getting into the details because we don't have time, they kind of get to the point of it ends up being the main kid should just minded his own business. Like it was fine. Like don't mess around with your buddy's relationship. Let him figure it out himself. But so yeah, I mean we're back. Everything we know and love or about Call of the Night is here.
Don't love, yeah.
The OP slaps hard, in my opinion.
Creepy Nuts is back.
We got Creepy Nuts back. I didn't realize the title Call of the Night, which is a pretty common phrase, but it is specifically not named after a Creepy Nuts song called Call of the Night.
So
apparently,
really? Okay.
apparently the author is a
So it
big
was
Creepy Nuts fan.
Coming full circle. Interesting.
And
so this author liked Creepy Nuts before it was cool.
This would be like, what if Biscuit Hammer actually got the Pillows to do their
don't remind me.
So but oddly enough, I didn't really like the first OP that much. The second OP is great, and
I feel like Creepy Nuts is actually like kind of like, I like a fair amount of their work, but I do actually think they are somewhat hit or miss.
They have such a broad style that like sometimes like they could do a song like that's them or whatever, but like it's pretty hit or miss. But this one I think is great. It's got some like
I thought it was
almost
fun to listen
Latin
to.
influenced guitar and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But it's pretty good.
So my understanding is that the manga has finished. So do you know if this season will reach the end of the manga or not?
I mean, I
know.
I haven't read the manga. I also know it's finished, but so I know the ending is out there. Whether or not they reach it or not, I would not be able to say.
Okay.
I know Magane Colombo will be featured more prominently in this season.
Okay.
You keep the tabs of the important.
If true.
I've seen some spoilers. She will be pretty prominent in this season. So, and you look, G, if you want to accuse me again of my sick adult woman fetish,
I wasn't even going to do the bit this week. I don't want to. I never want to overuse a bit. I was going to let it rest.
But I think you'll appreciate this at least. There are so many hot problematic women in this show.
Man, I mean, like, here's the thing, right?
There's also the entire vampire enclave, which
I'm sure,
which is led by like a big sis office lady, big titty goth GF, and Gyaru girl, and like,
of course,
there are all the hits are in there.
No, it is a little like a gacha roster. There's going to be one for every type, right? It's
because they shit themselves while walking down the street.
Here's the thing,
like
right?
horses.
Yes. I was gonna say, like, here's the thing. I jest as if I am not just as down bad for this type of war gel.
And specifically this artist, he knows how to make these kinds of characters. Yep.
Yeah. No, like great artist, great art style. I should be watching Call of the Night. Like I should have been. Right. This is a ship I should have gotten on when it was like leaving port.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe in a world where I'm binging 3 seasons and 2 movies of Uno, I should also find time in there for Call of the Night.
Meanwhile, I'm begging you to watch Gatchaman Crowds. Anyway,
just another thing on the list
for 10
to
years.
Stop me from watching Gatchaman Crowds
For 10 years.
Look,
all
Jared,
right.
if you want me to watch Gatchaman Crowds, we got to bring back the GLORIO book club. Like,
okay,
yeah.
we'll have to set up. We'll have to bring that back at some point. So anyway, we'll talk more Call of the Night throughout the season. So let's move on. Let's talk about new Panty Stocking with Garterbelt.
It's
Speaking
back.
of problematic.
It's back like it never fucking left.
Yes, we are so back.
Yeah,
we are unimmeasurable levels of back.
Speaking of just like
goodness.
picking up exactly where you left off, except this time it's 15 years between.
They do the whole, like, you seem like you've been sitting there for like 15 years, but it's only been 5 fucking minutes.
I have to say real quick.
Boom! Yeah.
I have to say real quick. It is wild having Panty Stocking and City, which is essentially the spiritual successor to Nichijou, happening at the the time when the old shows were also
I'm
happening
glad
around the same time.
I'm glad we can have our like wholesome comedy and our like id unleashed like raunchy comedy simultaneously.
So there's almost I mean they didn't miss a beat. We're right back in it, right?
Nope.
Like
We're back.
Yep.
I even watched the. I guess one of the benefits of having these shows on Amazon is you also get the dub with it. I watched.
You get the dub, right?
Which
is
like,
a different dub cast from season 1.
Alas,
it is,
yes.
but they're going for the same thing where it's probably 20 to 30% raunchier than the subtitles. but
It's not bad. I thought the dub was decent.
It's
you know?
pretty
I
fun.
think,
Okay,
it's
I did not
it's
check
a
out the
valid
new
way
one,
to
yeah.
watch it. I think I'm still gonna prefer. I just love the way Japanese people say "faku."
Yeah.
So like, you know,
I'll probably
What is
go
it,
back
like-
and forth.
Big blocky vagina.
Panty, you need to say fuck more. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if for whatever reason somebody doesn't know what Panty Stocking is, this is the this is the like the raunchiest possible TV anime that you could have.
this
Sex
is
and
like
violence with Mock Speed.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. It is like the
Imaishi
most
Unleashed. Yeah.
Amaishi Hiroyuki Amaishi Unleashed. His pure like again. A legendary director who's done a lot of shows, right? He's done Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann, Edge Runners, right? But we've always sort of known deep down that, like, yes, sex, violence, and mock speed is, like, the truest expression of Amaishi as a creator, and thus Panty and Stocking is kind of the truest expression of his, like, comedic
it's basically your
sensibilities.
successor to Dead Leaves. Like,
Yeah.
we
and,
finally we finally have the answer of like what was going to happen, what they were going to do with the ending, because the
Right.
first
they
season
just
15
picked her
years
up
ago,
picked right back up.
like, we all joked about the possibilities, like would they just ignore it, would they like what would they actually do? And I think I saw some people a little disappointed that they just picked up right off the last episode, but I actually think they did a pretty good job of like using this like quote unquote climax as a way to like get you back into the groove of what Panty and Stocking
exactly.
is.
Yeah, there was no it was sort of like even a new anime jumping into like in media res, like
Yeah.
this is what the show is. And I think it was important that they wrapped that up in one episode, though.
I think
Yes.
so.
Right.
Yes.
We
I want
none
to
of
go
us
back
wanted
to like
none
two
of,
shorts next episode.
Yes,
yeah. What? Yeah.
ideally.
Nobody wanted the version of New Panty and Stocking where the entire new second season is them putting Panty back together, right?
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
So-
That
no,
would have been
no.
So
the
that was
death
important.
knell of this show.
So long as they had it wrapped up in episode 1, I'm cool with it, and I like what they
Yeah.
did.
And I think they had a lot of really like. Here's the thing: like this has always been the problem with the GLORIO chat when we try to like cover comedy anime is we just talk about the jokes. But like for Panty and Stocking in particular, I do think we do need to like spend some time talking about like the premise of putting Panty back together has led to like there are jokes. That, if you didn't know what like I could tell you what happens in the first episode of New Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt, and you would not believe me. You'd be like, "No way! Like that's too far. Like that's actually too far. They wouldn't do that." And like, no, I'm serious. Brief. A brief Garterbelt, Scanty and knee socks carry the giant pussy Mikoshi. Deliver it to the gigantic Panty that is fighting with Kaiju Stocking.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is a refined show for gentlemen. There was a postmodern evaluation of the objectification of women as opposed to the original show from 15 years ago. There were also references to classic Egyptian mythology with the story of Osiris being put back together except for his genitals. Right. And there were even references to 1971 cinematic masterpiece Kamen Rider. So this is a refined show. Do not drag it down to your level and turn it into some sort of raunchy spectacle.
I'm sorry.
Because it isn't. It's cinema.
Did that block past Japanese censorship laws?
I guess.
Apparently so.
I mean, like that's.
Hey
like
man,
like,
you show genitals as mosaics. So
actually, I believe there.
I guess it's literally a block.
I believe this is airing in 2 different forms on Japanese.
Yes, there is a PG
okay.
rated version, or at least something resembling that,
or like some sort of censored version.
Yeah.
Aqua, to your point, I do want to mention if there is one slight difference. Brief, his time has arrived. I think it's possible he might have been born 15 years too early, because now in 2025 now is the time to be simping for evil women. Maybe not as much in 2015, but his time is here now.
Now we're teaming up with the Demon Sisters.
He was a true trailblazer of his time, and now he is being rewarded. But yeah.
Slut shaming's not okay, people.
God.
Anyway, yes, the Demon Sisters have joined the team, of course, which is good.
The style of comedy is comfortable to me as somebody who's followed Gainax and Trigger for many years. Right, the way that they like the elevator gag of
god,
they gotta get back to the roof for the thing, and it's like here's like you're dumb. Everyone's standing in the elevator for
the seconds, like one-off joke where the Demon Sisters like, let's order this goo we found, and it has the symbol of the devil on it, and it's just the radioactive symbol.
Yep. The fight was both incredibly cool and stupid at the same time.
Yes. Fucking Panty doing the fucking "my wife is the best wife in the universe" swing with her own intestines is like truly. It's just fire.
And we all cheered when "Fly Away" started playing, right?
Dude,
man, I cheered for every single track on that soundtrack. We are so fucking back.
Dude, we are so bad. I mean, this is what I mean when I say
Teddy Lloyd and Kimiko Ueno have been freed from Pokemon hell and are back to work on Panty Stocking.
Like, if I were to take a slightly more serious media analysis here, I think the thing I truly love about Panty and Stocking is, to be clear, new Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt. There's often a lot of talks about, like, can a creator go back to their old work, right? We talked a lot about this with Lazarus last season, right? Watanabe actually go back to the thing he did 15 plus years ago and, like, rekindle the magic. And I think the sad answer is usually not. And this is not always a ding against the creator. It's just that age comes for us all. We all change as people, right? Our sensibilities change. Our methods change. And
Maishi is still the same asshole as always.
Yeah, I think that's
I was about to say, like, the man made one thematically complex, emotionally resonant show and immediately needs to go back to Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt.
I love it. I truly love it, right? That, like, Maishi, he never lost it, right? It's like, nah, I'm like new Panty and Stocking is such a wonderfully, like, confident statement, right? It's just shouting from the rooftops, we never left. Like, don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years. Maishi is basically saying with new Panty and Stocking, to be clear, I could have done this at any time.
Yep.
I mean, this is just Trigger people stepping on stage during Anime Expo and going, "Do you like Big Boo?"
Right. Like thick thighs.
Oh, man. And like, is it a familiar playbook? Yes, but like, I don't know. It's comfortable, right? Like in 2025, it's comfortable to know that the Trigger boys and girls can still do it.
But mostly boys.
Being wrapped.
Hey, they got Kimiko Ueno. They got Kimiko Ueno on their side now. You know,
that's true.
She
has been converted to the dark side.
She's been doing stuff for Trigger for years.
Yeah, like she did. What was the last thing she did? Some episodes of Dungeon Meshi, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think she was even. I think she was even showrunner on Dungeon Meshi.
Yeah, she was the main.
Yes,
right. Yes.
So, she worked on BNA and Little Witch Academia.
Yeah. Oh right, yes, of course. She did She killed Winnie the Pooh.
She killed Winnie the Pooh. Yes. Yes, Kimiko Ueno continuing to be the best hired gun in
yes, the best hired gun specifically
in anime.
Yes, do not give her her own show. She doesn't know what to do with it. But
do not sell her a gun. Only hire her a gun.
All right.
Yeah. Yes, so Panty Stocking. I had a great time. I hope I continue to have a great time. Right.
Yep.
The hope is that because like the format of that original show with the 2 shorts per episode thing gave a lot of creative leaway for various people to do all sorts of weird things,
different styles, and
Akira Mamiya's Transformers take off with Fuctimus Prime.
I will say. I don't. Maybe I'm just more free in my old age, as you might be
Right.
seeing in this particular episode of the podcast in particular. But I am kind of enjoying it more than I did back then. I don't know.
We've evolved.
We've evolved by devolving, I guess. But
to chill out a little bit.
No, I mean, look, I brought this up in some previous podcasts in a completely different context, but like the Ebert quote where it's like, when you're a kid, you love Gamera because it's got a big flying turtle, and then when you're an adult, you like Air Force One because it's more realistic than Gamera with the president punching people on a plane. And then as you become even more experienced, you like a Gamera more because you appreciate how silly it is.
Yeah.
And how that takes its own type of craft, right?
Yeah. This is just that awkward zombie comic that's like age 13.
Pokemon!
Yeah. Age 18. Pokemon. Age 22. Pokemon!
Right.
Hey,
right.
with Kimiko and
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yep. It's
Well, we're back.
It's so dumb. It's stupid. I'm having a great time, right?
Yep.
Like,
all right.
It's stupid and it knows that it's stupid, right? Like,
yes. Yeah. This is shaping up to be a really great year for anime comedies.
Yes.
I don't know. Like, are we gonna? How many anime comedies will make our top 10 list this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the very specific type of anime comedy that I like, which is like. I didn't include on the list because we don't have time, but the Detectives Are Crazy These Days was really close to like the just like insanely paced, loud, obnoxious, really stupid anime comedy, which nobody else here likes, but I love. But overall, though, yes, like I mean, but like we had Apocalypse Hotel last season, which is probably
great.
It being in contention. We'll talk about City later, which is already looking great. You know, there's a lot going on, so very good. Let's move on and get into new things that are airing. And we can start with Gachiakuta. G, are you the only one that watched this? Did anybody else watch it?
I watched it.
I've been dragging Eero with me through it.
Okay.
You know, this is our regularly scheduled. Let's peek in on Shonen. How's Shonen doing these days?
Aside from Dawn to Dawn, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think my broad thesis on Gachiakuta is I think a lot of modern shonen gotta stop being so precious about the world building and unironically get to the cool shit sooner.
Okay.
Cause we had a discussion about this of say what you will about the once vaunted big three, right? Like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, right? And how they have all sort of either fallen off or transformed into these sort of unrecognizable beasts in the time since. But the thing you can say about all three of them is Chapter 1 introduces a character, introduces a conflict, gets you invested in the personal stakes of the characters really quickly.
And then they do the thing.
Here's the thing. You read Chapter 1 of Naruto, there's none of that well, actually, there's 6 hidden villages and the 9 cursed beasts that it's there's none of that shit. It's just okay, there's a village of ninjas, and they all hate this one ninja in particular.
I skimmed it, and it's page 5 is Naruto being shouted at by his teacher saying, "You're failing Ninja Academy because you can't do the clone technique," and or whatever. It's there's a lot of exposition in that one sentence.
Right, you communicate that Naruto is a bad student, that there is a ninja school, that they have ninjutsu techniques, right? And I think a lot of shonen these days, I noticed this with Jujutsu Kaisen. I noticed this with and I'll get to here with Gachiakuta. I think so many shonen are no. We need to set up the stakes of the world first. And I think it's a bad way to introduce a shonen. And so my generous take on Gachiakuta is they should have done a double premiere, because I would say even 2 episodes into Gachiakuta, if you are not familiar with the source material, to be clear, Gachiakuta is a highly anticipated anime this season. It's one of the most anticipated anime this season. But if you're not familiar with the manga, I mean, like on Anachart, it's like what, number 5? Like it's
Oh,
like,
sure. I always sort by next episode, not by popularity.
oh sure. Like, point is, I don't. If you weren't familiar with the manga, I don't know that you would really get why anybody should really care about this show, right? Like, because I think the first episode is especially egregious. It like sets up the main character Rudo. He lives in this world of the have and have nots, and he loves like refurbishing trash and like getting, reusing like things other people throw away. And oh, he's an outcast in the town, and he's framed for a murder of his father figure, but he didn't commit the murder, and he's cast into the pit. And it's like, okay, but like, to quote Aqua, like unironically, like I mean this actually unironically, like in the context of shonen specifically, where are the hype moments in Aura? Like, again, like in the context of shonen, right? And what makes shonen appealing?
Right.
It is a battle manga.
Right. Like,
where is the battle?
Where are the battles? Right. Where is the spectacle? Right. Like, I think there is an expectation there, and I think Gachiakuta doesn't necessarily deliver.
Right.
And I think it's a bit of a shame because I do think, like, it is kind of a neat setting. Like, it is, like, again, like, I kind of, like, drew a comparison to, like, obviously there's, like, Soul Eater because Kei Urana, she assisted on Soul Eater. But also, like, there's a little bit of that, like, Dorohedoro in there of, like, grimy, fucked up city and world filled with grimy, fucked up people. And I think some of that is fun. Like, there's, like, a really neat kind of, like, edgelord punk graffiti aesthetic to Gachiakuta.
I feel like shonen manga are in an arms race of like how much of an how do we make the teenage protagonist an outcast this time?
I was about to say, like, it's almost as if aesthetic is the most important thing in shonen manga nowadays because everything else is so thoroughly codified.
Yeah, I think so.
It kind of makes me think.
You're not wrong. You're kind of You're right.
When I asked you guys about the whatever the next Super Sentai show is, I'm like, okay, is it dragon? Is it dinosaurs?
Because Sentai is exactly the same every single time and follows all.
Because the structure is the same. It's just what coat of paint are you putting on it, right?
Yep.
Right.
So
that's a great example. Yeah.
And so in that context, I think Gachiakuta's coat of paint is actually quite neat. I actually started, like, I only read, like, a few chapters when it first came out. Like, I tend to, like, read the first few chapters of every, like, new shonen just to be like, all right, what's going to be, like, the next big one? And then I fell off because, like, I was like, the art's cool, but, like, there's...
But we've seen all this before, right? Like,
right. But I started rereading it again, like, with the announcement of the anime, and I legitimately think Gachiakuta has its place. Like, I think... Like, I called it the edge, the valuable niche of edgelord battle shonen. I think it fills it pretty well. I think the art in the manga is actually, like, legitimately quite cool. I think it's got a neat aesthetic. And I think some of the characters are actually, like, pretty charming. Like, there is a little bit of that, like, reminding me of, like, the parts of Jujutsu Kaisen that I liked. You have, like, dirtbags being dirtbags, but also deep down when the chips are down, they're Nakama, all that stuff, right? But I don't know, the anime's going to take like 5 episodes to get there.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that's too long.
Yeah, and so like I really am like I'll give credit to Iro for this. Like he's the one who said it. Like,
shit, what did I say?
I think. Well, and this is why I'm giving credit to you for it. So many shonen adaptations would probably be benefited from just cutting the first chapter entirely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, like, I don't really care that much about
it. Sounds like you're hearing that for the first time. like you didn't say that.
You literally said this to me.
No, I yes, but in a somewhat different context. We were talking about Gachiakuta, but I was relating.
Sorry, I didn't
in a different context.
I wasn't attacking you or anything. It just was funny from my perspective.
Look, I was just trying to.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, a point is, I think, like, yeah, I just think all the world building is unnecessary. Like, Like, I think that stuff can be important. Like, yes, I care about world building after I'm invested in the character.
You can fill that stuff in later, right?
Yes.
Give me just enough to kind of know what's going on, but then get to the action and the meat, and then we can start filling in the pieces as we have,
right. And so I think that's kind of where Gachiakuta suffers. I think, it's a Bones adaptation. It's competent. I would not say it's like amazing so far. This does not necessarily feel like a Bones A-team effort yet. But I think
right.
There is potential here. Shout outs to the Taku Iwasaki soundtrack.
Yeah. Nice to have one again.
Yeah, we're only 2 episodes in, and we're already getting our like extremely ill-fitting dubstep rap interludes. So
yeah, Lotus Juice is here.
Yes,
Lotus Juice is here. Okay, yeah,
nice. Yeah. So we're back. The OP is the most like unhinged like mumble rap screamo, and it like. I watch it and I go, this is abrasive. And then I go, this is totally perfect for Gachiakuta.
Yeah.
So,
it sounds like it's got the pieces there, and maybe that's just not assembled correctly for the anime. I don't know.
Yes, maybe if I'm trying to be generous to like Gachiakuta, I think the pieces are here. I think Bones broadly understands the assignment. I think if they can get to like the more like enjoyable, likable parts of this show sooner than later, I think it still has a chance. But I think the jury is definitely still out on this one.
Yeah.
I think we sort of come to the same conclusion every time we talk about a new shonen. And it's like, at some point, we're going to have to like admit, I think, that the people who work on shonen are actually really talented, but it's just being ground into paste by the institution.
I mean, like, dude, Aqua, if you follow Horikoshi, like, post My Hero Academia, like, that dude is, like, legitimately one of the best character artists in the business.
Right.
Like brother, that Mirko piece he did, the man is cracked out.
Is there a new one?
Hard.
Yeah, there's a new one.
To take the most classic example of a hack in manga history, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
it's our boy Tite Kubo.
Okay, I was like, do you mean? I was thinking to myself, does he mean Tite Kubo or does he mean somebody else? I'm pretty sure he means Tite Kubo, but
yes.
All right.
Okay, well, I mean, even that guy like cooks. Like when he releases new key art for like
another great character designer. Yes.
All those designs he did for the like Soul Society 100 years ago or whatever.
Or for the new Sakura Wars. Yeah.
So
that's true. That franchise now.
We can't put Tite Kudo on trial again, but yeah, I think there is though, like each shonen, it's like it's to different degrees, right? Everyone's trying to find their kind of angle on the formula, and some are more successful than others, right? So
I think Terminal Shonen Brain has been like an awful thing for anime fandom as a whole, but I will say that like I think broadly shonen is a deceptively difficult genre to stay good at. Like I think it's a genre that I think like some artists and creators can peak very early on with, like, but I think staying good in shonen is actually quite difficult. I mean, look, let's not pretend that Toriyama had a 1.0 batting average here, all right? like we all know that like even the goats of this like genre could not like maintain consistency.
So,
and you know, in like Keiurana's case, you know, I mean, again, in a Tite Kubo sense, I would love to see her become a character designer for like games or something. Like she is, I love her art. Like it's like I'll have to like post some of the spreads or something later. She is such a fucking sick artist, and you know,
I think this might finally, like this discussion might finally make me realize why people like One Piece. It's not in spite of it being eons long, it's maybe because it is eons long and doesn't really fall off the way all other shonen does.
Yeah.
It is in its own. It is
Right, it's in its own
Written in
league,
its
and that
own
is
way.
why
It can-
everyone in Jump has to go up against Oda.
Yeah,
It's
and
the
I-
oldest one there.
and
Like
it can't.
yeah.
So like it can be done, but that's like the exception to the rule, right? But
it is the pillar
Well,
upon which the ivy
it's-
is you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
built
that's the
upon.
thing. You say
Like,
it's the exception to the rule, but I think it might be the rule at Shueisha.
Okay.
Like, I think they want
nowadays,
everything
yeah.
to be as long as One Piece. And that is how people end up burning themselves out. Like,
well, I mean, that's what I mean is nobody is able to achieve that because either they
Right.
It's an unrealistic bar to shoot for. I
he
think.
set the bar in like the stratosphere. Yeah.
yeah. So all right.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Just regarding Gachiakuta, I've not found a like solid source for this, but what I'm seeing is it's the Internal Bone Studio that did Noragami and Carol and Tuesday.
Shout out
Speaking
to
of names we
Noragami.
haven't heard in
Yeah.
a long time.
I love.
Internal Studio that did Noragami, Dragon Pilot, Carol and Tuesday, and Godzilla
Sure.
Singular Point.
I love Noragami. Shout out to that, and it was a pretty decent looking show.
so-
Yeah.
Also had a Taku Iwasaki soundtrack. So
Yep.
That's right.
All right. Let's move on to talk about the summer Hikaru died. I unfortunately did not have time to watch this. I wanted to, so you'll have to fill
We are
me in.
done. We are done with the little boy shit.
Oh
Now
my
it's
goodness.
time for anime for men.
I
Oh,
tried.
yeah?
Friendly men who are not gay. Not gay.
Fellas, is it gay to love an eldritch horror?
Fellas, is it gay to like put your hand into the chest
Oh my
of your
god,
best friend?
that was fast.
Okay, so
So the base premise of this show
yes, tell me
is
about it.
Hikaru is dead.
Yep.
He as far
Died
as
in
we
the
know,
summer.
he died in the summer. He like went off into the forest
Summer of '95.
for one reason or another and died. And Hikaru has walked out of the forest sometime later as if nothing has happened. But his best friend, whose name I can't even remember at this point,
Yoshiki.
His best friend Yoshiki, is keenly aware that Hikaru has died, but Hikaru has walked out of the forest, and he's like, "Well, I know this is something wearing the skin of my best friend,
Okay, but like let's.
but I really would like to have my best friend around." So, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, well, let's.
So
clear the
so
board,
real quick,
right?
just
Like,
to clarify, he knows.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but he's
Oh,
still.
that is
the-
okay, that's
that
so
is the
much.
big, like,
That's so
the
much better to me.
angle.
Yes, the
Yeah.
drama is
That's
he
so much
knows
better
that
to
this
me,
is
yeah.
some sort of horrible creature wearing the body and
Okay, well, let's
using
let's-
the memories of his friend.
Let's
Right.
get past all of that. I think the
Okay.
really interesting thing about this is not only does he know,
Right.
the fake Hikaru knows he knows.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Within-
absolutely.
So-
The,
so
the
I've only
opening,
watched
the
first
opening,
episode,
yeah,
but
the opening
like,
scene is like, "Hey, is the like, I know you're not Hikaru. What are you?" And then this creature is like, "Oh, please don't tell anyone, or I'll have to kill you."
Mhm.
and well, the reason why I say that, right, is because I think usually in this type of like body snatcher story, the
Mhm.
tension is like, I know
In
what
the
it is.
uncertainty. Yeah.
But,
Right.
well,
But they don't know that I know. I need to hide
because he
this.
know,
Right.
right? And the tension is like hiding that because, like, if he finds out that I know his secret, he's going to silence me, right?
Right.
And I think that's really
Mhm.
interesting here is the tension of like Yoshiki, like that's his name, right?
Yeah.
The main
Mhm.
knows that this is not the Hikaru he loves? Question mark.
Mhm.
But like,
In any way, loves, right? As a
Yes.
friend, as
You're right.
something
And-
more, like, yeah.
and the like fascinating, like I think tension. Again, I've only watched the first episode. I think
Mhm.
I have not gotten to the second yet, but
Mhm.
is like that tension, the tension of like the grief and the guilt and the
Mhm.
like feelings of helplessness of like in many ways, like this is like both fully sympathetic but also like,
Deeply unhealthy. Like,
well, not only unhealthy
Right.
but almost like emotionally pathetic. Like he knows that this is not actually his friend. This is not actually Hikaru. Like they established right out the gate.
yes.
Like there's no like, oh, Hikaru might be hidden deep inside, and if I
No.
shout out his name, he'll break through. And I was like, no, this is explicitly no longer his best friend.
Mhm.
Right.
But it looks like him. It talks like him.
has his
And
memories, like
it's
right, and
so much more interesting to me, I think.
right, and the like
That's
other
the thing, right?
the other layer is that Yoshiki is probably gay and probably loved Hikaru, who it seems to me after 2 episodes that like scare quotes real Hikaru was not into was not into that and was perhaps even like anti LGBT.
Actively rejected it, or
And
at least
so-
yeah.
And so there's the other layer of now the new Hikaru is like, oh, I love you so much, so I want to hang out with you all the time. We're best friends. Stick your hand inside of my chest and feel my fleshy eldritch insides, please.
Right.
And Yoshiki, it's kind of upsetting. It's supposed to be
right. No, I mean that's the thing. The show
yes.
is about how far is Yoshiki like willing, because he knows that this creature is doing bad things, right?
Yeah,
he knows that this is a creature that the people
also,
in his village fear.
Also,
and it's just how far is he willing to? How far is he willing to like? Facilitate its coming to the village just to get to see Hikaru's face again every day,
and to establish like. Just to like also clear out another thing, this is not the like friendly neighborhood yokai.
No,
This is This is a malevolent spirit who is like explicitly killing people.
Like, pretty much openly like making use of the fact that Yoshiki knows but won't do anything, right?
Yes. Like this is not an ET situation of I need to hide him from the the small town village folk who won't understand him. This is I need to cover up my my if ET killed people.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I know writers who use subtext and they're all cowards.
God, episode 2 what is subtext? It doesn't exist.
I need to get to that episode.
Oh my god.
Not have time for this recording.
We're talking about the if you could have a dead loved one come back and even though they're not real, how far would you go to be with them? Is this also looping back to the 2 shows I mentioned at the beginning of
is this also
the podcast?
Also
thematically
romance?
Speaking
I think it's a really interesting. Oh, sorry, you go ahead, Joe.
Well, because it sounds like the similar. I mean, this is a much different plot wise, but like thematically, in kind of exploring that aspect of grief, right? Like where, would you be willing to? This is kind of a creepier take on it, I guess. But like, you guys know what I'm saying,
but
right? Like,
I think the clear difference here, at least, is that there is no question of agency. Like Yoshiki does not really have a choice in the matter. He has the choice to
hostage, I guess.
Embrace it or reject it.
Yeah.
But it is not that kind of almost emancipatory thing of
well, you
how
said
do you like cope your grief? This is like your grief is being shoved in your face like a handful of raw chicken. Like,
well, you said it was threatening him to kill him if he revealed the secret or whatever. So he doesn't really have a choice,
right? But then when he was like, "Oh no, I won't tell anyone," it's like, "Oh, thank you, I love you so much. I'm so glad I don't have to kill you."
I think there's a really delightful angle here, right? Because we often talk about the this specific subgenre of horror, right? The came back wrong subgenre,
right?
And I think there's also. Again, still a sympathetic character in some ways, but there's also that aspect of Yoshiki that is there's that selfish aspect that you guys were speaking earlier of but also what if he came back slightly closer to what I personally
I want out of this relationship,
and I think it's that juxtaposition that makes the tension here is so much more interesting than just oh no, he almost found out that I learned his secrets.
No,
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, that.
So yes, Yeah.
Like, I already thought it sounded like it could be good, but that sounds so much better. That sounds like the much better version of what I was thinking.
I'm telling you, man, Cygames Pictures is on a heater. Like,
They're
are just...
super cheap.
Netflix's terrible bitrate aside,
I'm not sure if that's the show or the
that's not the show. That's not the show's fault.
Yeah. I think it's like, this is an aesthetically very interesting show. Like, it's clear this does not have the budget that like an Apocalypse Hotel did, for example. They're doing a lot with very little, but they are doing everything to commit to this very sort of grody, clammy atmosphere.
As we were alluding to, this is the scene in episode 2 where they sneak off to the sports shed and Hikaru takes his shirt off and he's like, "Don't you want to feel what it's like inside of me?" And Hikaru, Yoshiki like literally puts his hand inside of the horrible gap inside Hikaru's chest and feels around, and it cuts to a photograph of just a tray of like raw chicken slices.
Oh man,
that's pretty.
Like
all
disgusting, right? And it's like, yep. I have handled raw chicken. Yes.
Yeah, you can immediately feel it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
pretty good.
And then juxtaposed with like Hikaru going like, oh, touch me there. That feels nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you're on this podcast for What's Aqua, how does it feel knowing that like Fujimoto is now an influential like school of design?
Yeah.
Manga
absolutely. Like Yoshiki looks like.
You're right. Now that you say that, I went, of course, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I also like looked up like the original manga art, and it's like
right.
It is so like low key, like Fujimoto coded, I guess, right?
Yeah,
and it's just fascinating to me that
I think if there's anything that Fujimoto has sort of caused a shift in manga art and the adaptation thereof, it's that he has maybe made mainstream a shift in focus away from technical skill and onto the importance of composition.
Yeah, I think
if you you're the artist,
here's the thing: Fujimoto's always been interesting to me because, like, sometimes, like, I look at Fujimoto's art and I go, like, this man is a modern genius. Like, what a master of composition and gesture and framing.
And imagery, like just street, like the creativity of the things he comes up with, even if he is not the best at like depicting them photorealistically. Yeah.
And then sometimes I look at Fujimoto and I'm like, brother, I think this needed another 30 minutes in the oven.
I mean, it's kind of like how throughout most of the recent Chainsaw Man chapters, Denji just has the same slack-jawed facial expression.
Oh, we can't talk about Chainsaw Man Part 2.
But the thing is, no, I mean, like, the thing is, like, this is not a criticism. He is able to use his limited resources to a great effect, because no matter what happens, Denji just looks into the proverbial camera, is like, huh? And this sort of vaguely sums up what his feelings are, and it is just like it is the same idea that we get with Yoshiki here. Yoshiki is also not a very expressive character, which is very registers as very Fujimoto to me. Characters with very flat expressions that nevertheless are able to express how they feel through the way in which they are framed. Like with Yoshiki, for example, you often get to see literally things from his eyes with his bangs hanging in front of his eyes, which is an absolutely insane thing to do. Like no normal director would do this,
right?
But it gets the point across. Yeah,
I mean that's why like Fujimoto's always been like gotten credit for like being a very like filmic cinematic mangaka,
right?
And why we all like groaned when the director of the first season seemed to completely misunderstand what that meant.
Yeah.
But yes,
No, not that kind of film.
Yeah. Right.
wrong film,
Wrong
buddy.
type of film.
Oh man.
Well,
But to go back to Hikaru, I had a feeling that this premise would at least be interesting. Like, even if it had gone the more traditional, does he know that I know? I maybe would have like still paid attention. But again, I've only watched the first episode, but the like, it's weird to call that premiere white hot considering like how low key it is. But like, the confidence that the summer Hikaru died starts with, right? To just hit you with this premise, this narrative setup. I mean, it's cool, man. I'm pretty into it so far.
Yeah,
I believe the director did that jellyfish Cancel in the Night anime.
Yeah.
Which was,
I mean, people like the vibes of that.
Which was not I don't believe that was horror.
No, but it was a nice looking show.
He also worked on a on Flip Flappers.
It all comes back.
I wonder, as time goes on, how many people are talented directors we're going to look back on that worked on Flip Flappers at some point.
A non-zero amount.
Did key animation or something?
Also, gotta say, like, I really admire this anime for like this very specific reason of addressing those like LGBT themes in a way that is not the way it usually is in anime, where like like gay people and lesbian people actually exist, but it's like in a more sort of like idealized way almost, where the angst is not necessarily about society's perception of LGBT people. Like homophobia is something that barely even shows up in yaoi and yuri manga.
Right.
Probably for good reason, right? Because it's supposed to be
a lot to handle. Like,
it's a fantasy. Like, people who want to read that stuff aren't there for that. I get that, but I think it's interesting to see a show that actually tackles how that theme also sort of mirrors it, is mirrored in the whole tropes of the Japanese countryside, the tradition, the group think. I don't think it should all be like this, but
the show doesn't have people being like, and I think gay people are bad, but it has people being like,
clear.
Well, when you get a girlfriend,
there is this sort of like
this, and he's like,
there's oppressive sort of the oppressive need to conform, or at least
Yeah.
Dude, in episode 2, when he's just buying someone at the convenience store, and the cashier is like, "Aren't you her kid?
You should cut your bangs, kid."
And talks for 2 minutes about nothing, and he's just like, "I can't." He's just disassociating, right? Like, she just rambles about small town bullshit that she shouldn't really, that by all accounts she shouldn't know, but everyone gossips in a small town.
It is very good at this sort of implicit thing, right? It is not like, well, I am gay, but people in this town don't like gay people. It is, which speaks to a kind of maturity that we don't usually see in anime. I think overall the way the show depicts teenagers in general is pretty well done. Like, they are goofy and irresponsible, but they can also have sort of honest discussions about their feelings without explicitly being like, well, I feel like this, and this is caused by...
That's anime often.
Shinichiro Watanabe, take notes.
It is very un-anime in its sort of subtlety, almost, even though it is completely unsubtle in other ways.
Yes.
There's subtle when you need to be, and subtle and not subtle when you need to be. Right?
Look, sometimes a brick to the face is in fact the most effective way to communicate a point.
Sometimes.
Right. Well,
I do wish there was maybe more subtext in anime, but yes.
So you guys seem pretty high on this one.
Pretty good.
I need to check this out. So
it's a strong start. I think I reserve the right to like see how some of this plays out.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
I am kind of wondering how it continues, right? How it will just be, or if it will just be Hikaru does disturbing thing, and Yoshiki's like, oh no,
so like that. I mean, there is always that fear, right, of like this could like kind of like fall into a rut. But
Mm-hmm.
for now, hey, I definitely need to like watch that second episode.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah.
Let's move on and do something a little more lighthearted before we dive.
Speaking of horror,
before we dive even deeper, let's do something silly. So, Night of the Living Cat. I had abysmally low expectations for this, but I did put it on the preview show because there was some potential.
You are who you are. Yeah.
It definitely exceeded my expectations. Maybe did not quite reach its peak potential, but and I only watched the first episode. I didn't get a chance to watch episode 2 yet, but it was sufficiently stupid enough complimentary to be enjoyable, and I love cats. But the general idea of it is a zombie movie, but with cats instead of zombies.
Right.
There has been a yandemic, if you will, with a virus getting across the world.
That's what VTubers say about COVID-19.
Yeah, right. There's a virus spreading that turns humans into cats, and if a cat licks you, you will turn into a cat. And this is all framed as so. They're now like it is now spread far enough where there are like just bands of roving cats throughout the city. Like much like zombies.
The Nyaight of us, like
yeah, then yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we're
I should leave after saying that.
I think we only tolerate Japanese punnery because we're not like fluent in Japanese.
Yes.
Someday they must pay for their crimes.
Yes. Yeah. So what I appreciate about this is because what I was expecting, and the most obvious route is you take a zombie movie, you replace the zombies with cats, but everything is exactly the same, right? And they actually do make a pretty good effort at approaching what would be different about a cat zombie apocalypse and making jokes out of that. Because to be clear, this is a comedy. This is not a serious show by any means.
Right.
Obviously, given the premise.
How could it be? Yeah.
So like they lean into kind of the zombie movie tropes when they need to, and then they also kind of throw a cat twist on it if necessary. So like, for example, presently when the show starts, there's only 2 of the main cast alive, I think, or by alive I mean not cats. There's this main dude who's like this. All the dudes are muscle bound action heroes, by the way.
Sure.
Throw that out there. So and he's got there's one like angry schoolgirl that's with him who was like the little sister of one of the guys that got turned into a cat, right? So and it's revealed his backstory is he just like woke up in an alley somewhere and has amnesia, but he also his head is filled with cat facts. He knows everything about cats and he loves cats. And so he is taken in.
That's how he can defeat the zombie cat.
He's taken in by the owner of a cat cafe, and this cat cafe is run by a bunch of muscle-bound action hero dudes.
Yep.
And when this part is kind of told in flashback when patient 0 hits and the virus starts spreading, they kind of show him escaping the cat cafe and everything. But I think the key difference, like there's some little jokes they put in, like my favorite one was they're running away from the cats and there's like a tiny little hole and there's like a cat poking his paw through it and they're like, oh, there's no way there's no way he'll get through that hole, right? And cats can get through anything, right? And they're like,
a cat can get through any hole.
I have a screen cap of them yelling, is that cat made out of water or something like that? Because he starts squeezing through the hole.
They're like octopi, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah, you get the narrator explaining, cats can move their organs around so that they can, crawl through holes. Or
okay, hold on a second. I'm not quite sure on that one.
Yeah, but yes, I don't know if that's exactly how it works. But point is, I mean, we've all personally probably seen cats squeeze through ridiculous places, right?
We've all seen that one viral video of the guy putting increasing numbers of like obstacles in a hallway and filming the cat like navigate through it, right? It's they're quite flexible.
Yep. So there's little jokes like that. But the kind of core, flip on the zombie concept is, and I wrote this in my first look post, but basically, like, yeah, I don't have much problem shotgunning a zombie in the face, but are you going to shotgun a cat?
Damn right I will.
And I personally, so I would be dead immediately. I couldn't bring myself to do it, and neither can this guy because he loves cats too much.
Oh,
So
fine.
he's trying to survive without hurting the cats at all. There's one, my absolute favorite joke. So that was my favorite. That was one of my favorite jokes. The crawling through the hole. My actual favorite joke was he finds some like riot gear, so he's like protected head from toe, and he can like run through this
The
hallway
cat,
filled with cats.
the cat cascade. Yeah, like,
And one of the cats like jumps on his face so he can't see, and he's like struggling with the cat, right? And he's relatively safe because his body's entirely covered, right? But he grabs the cat, and there's this big dramatic action animation of him going and about to slam the cat into the ground, and then like the last second he like gently puts it down. Like he can't bring himself to like smash the cat into pieces, even though he physically could at any time, right? And the episode ends. Episode 1 ends with this very dramatic moment where during the episode they had one other guy with them that gets turned, right? Because somebody's got to get turned to show you how it works. And they make it out of this shopping mall or wherever they're at, right? And they find an abandoned jeep that they're about to jump into, and on their way out, he looks out and he sees this cat, and it still has like the tiny little clothes that his friend was wearing.
right.
And the cat like rolls over and is begging to be pet, and is showing his belly, and he's like, even in the end, he trusted me enough to show me his belly, like his comrades. He's like in tears.
So these are not like
paying respect.
They're not like gross zombie cats.
No, they're just
regular ass cats.
Yeah, you just turn into a regular ass cat. Yeah.
My question here at this point is, this is funny, but does it have enough in it to last a full season?
Yeah,
of joke, right?
That remains to be seen. I think they're going to be like, they are actually like going to be introducing, I think, more characters, and like there's some jokes and humor and things to work with like the characters themselves too.
Oh my god, right, this is the one that has Takashi Miike involved. I forgot.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yes.
We'll see if yeah, right, of all people, but we'll see.
He's a noted horror director.
Yeah, we'll see if it has any legs. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to watch episode 2, but I enjoyed it enough to where I'll at least give it another episode or two and see if they can do anything with it. But yeah,
right.
It was really dumb, but it was fun.
Yeah,
I don't want anything to do with your zombie anime unless it's directed by George A. Romero.
Well,
thanks, Space Dandy.
It's gonna be a little difficult to get that one, but made. But yeah,
all right. In the world of zombies.
It's true.
Well,
got a point.
Fun stuff's out of the way.
I don't know what you're talking about. The next show is hilarious.
I can't.
It kind of is, but also.
I couldn't bring myself to watch this, but you guys can tell me about Takopi's original sin.
Holy shit!
You should watch it.
Wow.
I've heard enough. I've heard the buzz. I've read your guys. I read your post.
I would not be able to watch this alone. I think I need the distance created by watching with another person, where I can feel slightly more comfortable making jokes about horrible things that are just not funny.
Why don't we give I know we talked about this in the preview show, but just let's give a quick premise.
Go for it, folks. Who have read the manga,
like Aqua, if you want to do it, or what's the premise?
So Takopi's Original Sin is a show about Takopi, who is a cute, cuddly alien from the Happy Planet who comes to Earth on a mission to spread happiness all over the world, because that is what his kind of alien does, right? And he's kind of like, he's like a Doraemon knockoff. So he is this cutesy alien who has all sorts of magical gadgets and gizmos that he can use to solve everyday problems of ordinary people. And he's here to spread happiness. And the first person he runs into is an elementary school girl. I think she's like 9-10 years old, called
Yeah.
Shizuka, and he's going to become friends with her, make her happy, and he quickly finds out that you can't just flick a switch to make someone happy, especially not when they're dealing with serious issues that affect our society and that really real problems that characters or that actual human beings can go through. And the show is sort of about the contrast between Takopi and his very, I was going to say Takopi and his very happy-go-lucky approach to solving problems, his very naive understanding of the world, and the sort of black comedy it creates by juxtaposing that with some of the really harrowing things that the children he meets have to go through as a result of just the cravenness or even the incompetence of the adults who are supposed to raise them.
In some ways, like it's not even. It's like the disgustingly banal cruelty,
right?
Like, adults in the lives of children. Like, to be clear, this is an anime with a content warning at the start.
2 content warnings.
Maybe the first time I've ever seen that on subtitles for an anime.
And I think it's quite warranted. Again, like as Jell alluded to, Takopi's original sin is it does not shy away from like the indignities of the human condition, the ways in which harm like persists and is inherited like generation to generation, the ways in which like both intentional malice and apathy can cause just undue amounts of human suffering, and the like childish naivete that these could be like easily solvable problems, right? Like Takopi is intentionally like framed as like willfully naive and like completely misunderstanding of human cruelty.
I mean, Takopi is the centrist, he's the guy who gets in between the we want rights protesters and the we want all people dead Nazis and be like, compromise? What if you guys just get along?
I mean, in many ways, like, I don't know whether intentional or not, but in ways, Takopi is kind of like a stand-in for, again,
toxic positivity, just cheer up, just talk it out.
Or the willfully naive who just think, well, if everybody could just talk things out, I'm sure we'd all like...
If we were all just new types and we entered a new age of new types.
And, I don't think we need to do a play-by-play, but, there are 3 episodes. It's a 6-episode series. We have all now seen the eponymous original sin of Takopi.
Right. I think when we were starting to watch episode 2, I straight up was like, I don't see what Takopi's original sin is supposed to be other than like...
He's such a nice guy. He does nothing wrong.
Other than like this like time travel stuff. And then, yes, I went, okay. Got it. By the end of episode 2,
there's no mistaking the original sin part.
I went, of course.
Definitely not.
Great title card drop. Also,
Takopi's minor oopsie.
I think, so I think there's like 2 things to talk about with Takopi. There's obviously the content of it, the way it's handled. I think there's also the conversation about like, for as upsetting of an anime as this is like one of the most impressive adaptations.
Oh, yes.
I think I've ever seen.
That is the thing, right?
I kind of feel bad for the animators.
Do you want to animate this like elaborate 3-minute sequence of 60 frames per second of a child beating up another child?
Right. It's like they're doing an amazing job with just like really upsetting imagery. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
and,
somebody had to draw this child swaying from the rafters.
Like, if you guys remember, like my like extreme hand wringing in our preview podcast. It's not because I never doubted the like strength of Takopi's original sin as a story. My hand wringing was, can you do this as an anime? Like, is that even acceptable? Is that responsible?
And there are bits where it threads the line. Like, Just
it's so funny sometimes.
seeing like Marina going like comedy angry with the big eyes, and then like 5 minutes later she's just pulling someone's hair and beating them to the curb. Like
I think like there's an important distance there, right? Because in many ways, Takopi is intentionally animated kind of like a Crayon Shin-chan, right?
Yeah,
like, I think the childish art style is meant to remind you that these are children, right? Because I think, like, often children in fiction, I think even in Takopi's original Sin, kind of behave a little bit more mature than they actually are, right? Like, you definitely get that vibe with, like, Azuma in the 3rd episode. But I think the childish art style constantly reminds you, like, the real tragedy of these stories, these are kids. Like, not even teenage kids. These are kids. Like,
and that whenever something shocking happens, it is just perverse. Like there is something inherently
because
nasty about seeing that contrast, right?
And they can have that by having like cartoon Octo guy in frame while something terrible is happening.
I really got to give my flowers to this adaptation so far, anyways. Based on the first 3 episodes, I think they have fully justified the existence of this anime in ways that I never like. You want to talk about my list of like anime never evers, right? Like Takopi's original Sin was hanging out with Dorohedoro, and somehow they both now have anime. I don't know what to make of that. Like it's.
At least we can all rest easily knowing that they'll never make a Yotsuba anime.
And it's like weirdly cool, and follow me on this. Like, I think especially in this day and age where, I mean, to be clear, anime has always been a commercial product, but I think especially these days where anime is all about, like, selling you something, I think it's very cool that a Takopi project could get made. And my understanding is that this producer, the producer of the Takopi anime, is well known as being like a somewhat of a maverick, someone who is willing to like stake everything on less conventional projects. Apparently they did the same thing with they were responsible for getting Pop Team Epic off the ground, the anime, I mean.
Yeah.
And so, like, to know that this person was like, I will stake my career on making a Pop Team Epic anime, and then they, like, dusted their hands off, like, that was light work. On to the next thing.
Onto the child suicide show.
And in between, they were producer on Braver, and so...
Right, and they did Braver, right? And it's like, what is like? I was like, we need producers like this. But that aside, it's like I think about like, animes that quote unquote deserve good adaptations or like whatever, right? It's like we live in a world where like we have to live with the Golden Kamui and Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer anime adaptations, and yet somehow Takopi is the one that gets like.
I mean, because it's only 6 episodes,
and that's like, true. But I meant more the like the whatever. Like I try again. Obviously,
the greater spiritual like
the purity,
field,
like the creative purity of this adaptation. It's kind of mind blowing, and
like this is like a cinema level production. Like
yeah. It's like here's my take. Like straight up, right? Like I am adamant. If I could get the entire GLORIO chat to actually sit down and watch Takopi's original Sin, this almost has Anime of the Year locked in.
Absolutely,
The only reason it won't is because it is so upsetting, so grotesque, so miserable. I don't know if I could convince people to stick with this for 6 episodes.
I mean, right.
You hit the nail on it.
Aside on the idea that, like, and of course this is a incredibly well-made show that I think is very good. Aside on the idea that, like, a show with serious subject matter is inherently, like, better than than something with less serious subject matter, which is not what you're saying at all.
No, I'm not saying. Believe me, I think,
but the because yes, like in my mind, I'm like, oh yes, this is one of the best shows this season. It's like, why do I think that? It's like, is it just because it is emotionally like intense? And I associate emotional intenseness with quality. But
Right,
also
Oscar
it is very well made. Right.
You are not immune to Oscar bait.
So-
I'm not.
And that's, I mean, to be clear, it's not just that it's because Takopi is depressing. It's because
No.
Takopi is depressing and extremely well made.
and also
yeah.
kind of funny.
Yes.
And also, in a weird way, another comedy in this season.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a full spectrum, baby.
like we're all guffawing over like fucking City and Panty and Stocking and Apocalypse Hotel. Like, in some ways, Takopi's like, don't fucking forget about me. I made you laugh too. That bit where like Marina is like beating Shizuka, and in the strands of her hair
In the
is
gap,
the little
yeah.
Takopi sit in the background, and they do the digital zoom on the, like they almost do the dungeon meshy digital zoom on Takopi as a child is being beaten in the foreground, and like that's kind of funny.
Man.
So, I guess with any of these types of shows, my question is like, oh, wait, and it sounds like you guys
How
are
was this in show?
on board with it, but
How was this?
like, is it worth it? Like, as far as like, because like there's the fine line between like depicting these kinds of things and just being misery porn, right? So like,
Right.
is it worth it?
I don't think it
Or-
is. I mean, no, I think it is worth it. I mean, I don't
Okay.
think it is misery
Okay,
porn.
well,
That's
I think
that's
my-
that's
my-
that's the
my-
question I have. Yes.
My more generous take is I think it's worth it, but I would not judge a single person for like watching that first episode and deciding,
Right.
you know what, I'm good, right? Like
Well,
if you're
yeah.
the person who like if you're the person who like watched like season 2 of Made in Abyss and were like, you know what, I don't actually need to watch what happens to this girl in this tree.
Right, but
Like-
by worth it, I mean like there's a point to it, and it's not just look at how like messed up we can be.
The thing is, like,
we can be like
The difference, I think, the difference between Takopi and something like Goodnight Bun Bun is, or Made in Abyss, is those are like trudging death marches towards like inevitable doom, whereas this is like a slow crawl out of a hole.
Right. And so, like, you two have read the manga. I have not. Right.
Mhm.
So I do not quite have context for what's going on, other than being assured this is not a complete descent into hell. Like, it will have some form of an uplifting, like some. It will not be complete misery the whole way. There will be something
No.
eventually that, like, you know,
There is a point
in
to it
theory
all.
justifies what we have gone through.
The story has meaning.
right.
I just want to see these crazy kids make it in this
Yes.
world.
Whereas, I don't know, Made in Abyss, as far as I know from reading the manga, there has no point other than more
Yeah.
creepy shit.
It's
I-
the abyss. Like,
Yeah.
Sure is.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sensitive about like child abuse and stuff like that. Like I don't
Yeah.
Mhm.
want to. I don't like you.
Mhm.
And it's not that I'm against doing it. It's like, or I mean, depicting. I'm against doing it. But,
Right, yeah.
Depicting,
GLORIO blog does not
Uh,
endorse like child abuse.
Oh my
depicting
God.
it in your story
Well,
if there is
that-
like a
This is
reason.
child
Like
abuse.
Yes,
there's like
I mean,
a
like,
purpose
as
to your
I've
what you're
yeah.
trying to.
I've relayed this
say.
concept
Yes.
a few times, but I talked
Mhm.
to a romance writer one time, and they said, like, if you're going to, you know, like, kill somebody or have assault or abuse in a story, it is the equivalent of a narrative nuclear bomb, and you have to be cognizant and prepared for dealing with the fallout of
Right.
it.
So-
And, you know, sometimes they are, sometimes they're not.
Yeah. So that's the to me that's always the big question when
Mhm.
a show like this decides to take it there. So
I think what makes this show sort of stand out in that is that there are so many anime and manga that depict
Mm.
incredibly cruel, brutal bullying, because it's the absolute scourge on Japanese society, as far as I can tell. But there are a few shows that actually go into the psychological repercussions that it can have for both the abuser
Right.
and the abused, right?
right.
Mhm.
Most of the time it's just like these guys are being like comically cruel to me. You know, they are dunking my head into the toilet and beating me up and taking off my clothes and sending pictures of it. But it's almost never examined what that does to people, aside from, oh, that makes me sad.
Right.
And things will get better as soon as I get the magic powers or get isekai or whatever.
My magic girlfriend shows up or whatever.
Yagami Sensei appears.
Yeah. This show goes into that in
upsetting
detail. But it also talks about, what drives someone to be so callous, to be so incredibly cruel towards their fellow man.
Yeah.
Right.
And it does it from the perspective of, it is like this sort of grand moral tale of, the power of what is hate, what drives people to, it is the very fucking Neil Druckmann interview, but it sort of scales that down to a very relatable, very
it is in fact
close
not that
to home.
Grand. It
is human nature.
Petty and
You don't need the post-apocalypse to tell the story about how humans kind of suck and what we can try to do to try and not suck.
Right.
And I think that's ultimately the show's strength.
Right.
Okay. Well, are you all going to try to finish it before the next one? Because there's 3 episodes, or what?
There's 3 episodes. I mean, I don't know if we materially are able to finish this before the next podcast.
Yeah.
If they are available, yes. I mean,
they're not.
We are,
Okay, they're not putting them out all at once.
No, this is weekly.
Okay.
This is weekly.
It has not been binged, right? It has not been released all at once.
So we'll be near the end, basically, by the time the next episode rolls around. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we will.
And now for something completely different.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna end on a more fun note.
And light at the end of the tunnel.
Talk about City the Animation. If anybody is not aware, this is the spiritual successor to one of my favorite anime of all time, Nichijou. It's the same author, artist, mangaka, if you will, and you can definitely feel the Nichijou vibes. But it is also. I think it has enough going on to kind of take on a little bit of its own personality, particularly with the visual style, because this is one of the best looking things I've seen in years, maybe ever.
Speaking of, we are so back. It's fun. We're talking about Takopi looks amazing. Oh, we're talking about Panty Stocking. Trigger hasn't lost it.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how good City looks.
Turns out that if you pay your animators, they do good work.
Yeah, I mean,
Kyoto
Animation has
art style.
Kyoto Animation has been not doing a lot of TV series over the past, pretty much since their incident. And,
right.
This is their first new thing. I don't know if people,
possibly forgot that at some point.
Look, they've had a reputation
the
for
best
decades.
looking TV anime studio in terms of technical quality. You might not have liked their art style, but in terms of animation quality for a TV show, they were the best, or in that discussion, right? And I guess sometimes you gotta, I guess to quote Kendrick Lamar, sometimes you gotta pop out and show people, right? But
in some ways that is what City feels like, right?
That is what it feels like.
Animation, the K-dot of anime.
Because. Obviously, yes, we're talking about the Nichijou comparisons. And so then you go into City, and it is very Nichijou in some regards, right? The zany, manic comedy, the very, bit-a-minute pacing to it. But there is something, I think, undeniably, older and wiser to City.
Yeah, so, even conceptually, it's kind of the same, where it's, you're kind of peeking into the weird and wacky daily lives of just these normal people, right? But they've chosen, I think, a wider variety of people to look at. So even though Nichijou, Nichijou had their 2 main groups, but that they focused on. There were other characters, right? But it was mostly like either the three girls or the professor and Nano, and their stories kind of merged in the middle eventually. But
right,
this time we've got the family that owns the restaurant. We've got another set of three girls, but and maybe because those three girls are now like older, they're like they're college age.
Yeah.
That also kind of ages it up a little bit.
But then there's also a duo of high school girls.
But there's also a duo. I think they're middle school. They're pretty young,
yeah.
right?
Middle schoolers, okay, yeah.
And then you got the struggling manga artist guy.
Yeah, which I think might be the like weakest link here.
Yeah.
So far, I think.
Yeah.
But so there's kind of I feel like there's a bit of a wider variety of like angles to take with that, because Nichijou was also kind of playing a little more into like the typical anime like moe stereotypes at the time, and back when we were still using the word moe, and like there's some like weirder like more science fiction-y things like talking robots and talking cats and stuff like that, right? But this is a little more grounded, I guess, in that regard.
I think it's also... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I think an interesting comparison to make is like, because I am on record as not liking Nichijou, right? I am one of the two Nichijou haters on this podcast.
Yes,
get them out of here.
Divisive shows in GLORIO history. Yeah,
but the thing is, I like City, by the way. But the thing is, like, what is absurd in Nichijou is, for example, the bit where like Nano's hand is turned into a shark, right? And the professor just go, ha ha ha, your hand is a shark.
It's like you made
whereas like a similar scene in City in the first episode is like the bit where the photographer girl is just, she's like an artist and her thing is taking pictures of broccoli. But I think it's the thing that the broccoli thing is far more effective because it is almost not wacky for the sake of being wacky, in that it is something that could actually happen, and also it's something more in the background. Because my problem with Nichijou is always like, someone does a funny thing, and then someone is like, "Ha, you did a funny thing, let me react to this."
Right, I mean, Nichijou heavily relied on the sort of manzai sort of dynamic, right, of straight man, silly man, kind of.
And the thing is, this show still has that, but I think they've gotten better at sort of shaking it up and how they deliver that style of comedy.
It's like what, she comes in and her friend is splayed on the ground taking a picture of broccoli. And she's like, are you doing
but she's not like,
thing? Like,
but she's not like, oh, broccoli.
She's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And to be clear, I think it's like the thing that's like feels so strong about City is like it's broader, it's more well-rounded, because it also still has like, the noodles flying into the bag joke. Right?
Yeah.
So I think like the kind of like realization I had while watching City, like it's still funny, but it's a little older, it's a little wiser, it's a little bit more sincere. Is that
right?
To me,
I think that works.
Almost like, hold on, I feel like to me City almost feels like City is the like Yatsuba to Nichijou's Azumanga Daioh.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
That's pretty good.
It sort of focuses on the strengths of the first thing without falling back on the routine,
but also without losing like the things that made like the original like work. Like I think like. We the second episode aired today, and again, very charming, very funny, had a lot of really good absurdist jokes, right? Nagumo vaulting over the mangaka and all, silly haha stuff. And then it kind of like settles into a more sort of like heartfelt, like low key pace, and we're all like, yeah, that was, that was really charming. Wow, what a nice show. And then the post credits bit is the girl with the 500 yen coin, and
so good.
Like, I already knew that the joke was gonna be that it's not gonna be an angel and a devil; it's gonna be a second devil. What I did not know is that then 3 more devils would show up.
That was very good.
The bit that really got me was fucking like random weird demon from Ars Goetia showing up because and being like, I am a demon from Europe. And it's like, yes, of course, yes, they're all some fucking weirdo,
Yeah.
Shin Megami Tensei ass creature. Right?
Go ahead, you can finish and then I'll go. But
I mean, the point is, I think City has shown, at least in these first 2 episodes, that like it has managed to find a way to balance the two, and in a ways that like I think make City feel really, really strong. Like I think I'm always going to like deep down miss the dynamic of Yuko and God, blue hair girl's name I can never remember.
Mio. Why do I know this?
Or Mio,
Yeah,
Mio
like,
and Mai.
you know, like
famous blue sky user Yuko from Ichigo.
You know, like I think, like will I ever laugh? Like will I ever actually laugh? Like I'm curious if there's anything in City that will make me laugh harder than like Mio's BL dojinshi spilling out of her bag and like handing the bill to bribe the officer, and then like Satsui no Hadoing like fucking raging demon. Like will anything be as funny as that? I hope so, but like so far I do think City has more than like capably proven itself as its own thing.
Yeah, and I mean it would make sense that the author, a decade plus later is going to be better at his craft than he was 10 years ago, right? Or at least you would hope so. I guess that doesn't always happen, but you can tell there is a higher level of maturity to it. I think part of it to me was like, in the Nichijou anime anyway, I feel like they didn't fully play their hand until like the second half of the show, and by then you're already like 14 episodes in, where they started getting more into the kind of heartfelt emotional stuff when the two groups come together, because they don't come together until like the middle of the show,
right? And
they start kind of tapping into the type of things that they tap into right away here in episode 2, where and that never like dominates the show, but it's like, I think that kind of thing is the kind of thing that will elevate just a normal wacky comedy to me, when you can like the big like emotional jab in episode 2 for me was like with the girls, right? The 2 middle school girls
hanging out at the temple,
where they're hanging out at the temple, just goofing around and being silly kids.
Right.
And then at the end, when she goes home, and she's like, "Oh, did you tell her that we're moving?"
Right.
And it's like those sort of like emotional little jabs of like, that you're probably not going to see your friend again or whatever, right? That's what I was taking from that. But they're getting right into that right away, instead of building up to it for 14 episodes or whatever. But
right.
I mean, they're already kind of getting into that a little bit with like the roommates, right? Like,
yeah, and I think that will probably be a trio when they get the goofy airhead photographer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Girl, but but right, they start tapping into their backstory, right, and you're getting a little bit of the, and it's not melodramatic or like a big deal or anything, but it's that emotional core that kind of adds an extra layer to the and then to be able to then switch to the fantastic devil joke at the end. It was just like so good. And even like, so we this is the hardest part to talk about, but we do need to talk about the art.
Man,
somehow again, keeping the comparison to Nichijou, because that's it is the successor to that. Nichijou looks amazing, right? But it still kind of looks like a Kiwani show, right? Just with a little bit different character design and stuff. And this is still
nothing looks like City, right?
Yeah. Somehow I don't know how they. And G, I'll probably cut you loose because you're the artist and you can probably explain this stuff better. Somehow the show both looks more technically perfect, because I think they're doing more digital painting or whatever, but also it's almost as if they've taken on the challenge of, okay, well, if we're going to be more digital, we're going to use that to make it look more hand drawn. Like it's somehow like both more like technically perfect and still feels like more like, I don't know, warm and textured than Nichijou did. Some of it was even like maybe the color choices, but like I don't know, it looks amazing.
I think some of it is that so notably about this show, like this is like not the first, I think, but this is a show that I believe they said is explicitly digitally inked,
Right.
as in like they are using like the standard Photoshop round brush to like line this show. So like
Right.
it already like does not have any of the texture that like a pen stroke creates.
Right.
And so
Right.
that creates the like feeling of like extreme sharpness, cleanness to the art. And
Which,
that's like
sorry, real quick. That very fits like the Nichijou like manga style. Is like it's very like it's like almost like it was made by a graphic designer or something, right? Like
yeah. And my understanding is like this is more faithful to like the original art style of City as well.
Yes.
And then they use like the bold flat colors, right? There is shading, but for the most part, it's a flat colored show, which gives it this very poppy graphic design feel. You know, like it's kind of like a more technical pop team epic in some regards.
Right.
And then there is the part where like they fully embrace like the artifice of like drawn artwork, and like this is the part where like this is like where I like literally like. No
yes,
shot.
You were like, holy shit in the middle of the episode.
Audibly exclaimed in the middle of the episode because an example of City's like truly unbelievable level of technical prowess. One of the tricks they have employed to make it feel more hand drawn is that, for example, objects in the foreground, their outlines will be hatched lines instead of a solid line. And this is to simulate the phenomena of like objects that are out of focus in a camera being blurred.
Right, like the foreground blur or whatever. Right,
and the reason this works is because anime already uses hatched lines to simulate speed. Another thing that is blurred another thing that is blurred in a camera caused by motion. And so to instead use hatched lines to simulate a different type of blur that is still unmistakably meant to communicate an object out of focus is... I've lost my goddamn mind. Like it's so inspired. I don't know if I've ever seen an anime do something like this. And that's I think maybe what you're getting at, Jell, when you say like this show is somehow cleaner and more digital, but also more hand drawn, is because I think, especially in this day and age, I think a lot of anime now rely on digital compositing, right? And that's not an inherently bad thing. But for example, if you want to blur something these days, you just apply the blur filter over a section.
You push the blur button. Yep.
Right. As opposed to like if you want static on a screen, you put the static on it instead of drawing a frame that looks like it's static. Right.
Right. And I think like, you know, like obviously like I think digital like compositing has like done a lot of really cool like looking things, but I think in many ways, digitally composited anime has it's in some ways forgotten. Like we have forgotten that anime is a hand drawn medium, right? It is a frame by frame animation is a highly technical and human labor intensive medium. And the thing that is like so cool about City, especially in this day and age, is the ways in which it relishes and champions hand drawn like media. And
there are shortcuts they could have taken here that they deliberately did not take, right? Like
yes,
yeah.
And it's unbelievable. Like I legitimately like I'm now at the point where it's like you know the art style may deceive you, but like this might actually be KyoAni's like crowning achievement visually as a studio.
It might be, and that's saying a lot considering how good their past shows have looked, right? But I was even thinking like at the end of episode 2 there was a shot with I guess the manga guy's editor. It's like in the sunset and so like his face is shaded, but it's all like uneven hand drawn lines and columns.
Yeah.
Here, I actually have. I know this is bad for audio, but I'll put it in the chat for you guys.
Sure, yes.
Like that's exactly another example of like the kind of thing where like they didn't need to do this. That's so much work that they didn't need to do. Where they've drawn like 1 million lines on this guy's face, and it's very like they're embracing the fact that this is an imperfect hand drawn like technique.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
They could have just put the change the lighting filter or whatever on it to like make his face darker, but somebody actually went in there and drew a million lines on his face to make it look shaded, and they didn't try to hide that it's you see all the the lines are uneven and where the columns break and everything.
Mhm.
I'm doing my best to explain it in audio. Maybe I'll put it in the show notes, but just watch. This is like almost more than any other show in a while where you really just got to watch this thing, right, to really appreciate.
Like there is no
the whole
like
experience.
there is nothing we could say here in this podcast that could like communicate even a fraction of the power City the animation wields.
Yeah, and I love that with anime where you have to watch it to get the full experience. Like that, that sounds like an obvious thing for something that's visual like anime, but there are a lot of anime that, like, I would say this, like, if you could tell it in live action, then like why is it anime, right? Like,
Mhm.
you would not get the same experience making a live action City. The actual visuals and everything is a huge part of the enjoyment, but the fact that you need more than that too, so it also has funny jokes and the sort of heartfelt bits that we're getting that make it a real complete package, right?
I think the noodle thing is 2 weeks into the season the hardest I've laughed this season.
The noodle bit.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Like again, like I feel like the best comedies understand that like repetition is inherently funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got to know just how many times to beat the dead horse to get it funny.
And sometimes it's exactly one more time.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, God, the fucking second noodles flying into the bag.
Well, like even the devil joke. That devil joke would not have been nearly as funny if it wasn't like 5 devils that end up showing up, right? Like,
right. Yeah. And then the punchline of the 6th one is the angel finally shows up.
Yep. Yeah, 5 minutes late. Yeah.
Oh man, it's
so
like that's the thing. Like it could have just been just a great looking show, but it's also legitimately very funny.
And not to this degree. There are a lot of great looking shows that is like, okay, it looks nice, but I don't care. Like, a lot of shonen shows that might have a high budget or whatever, but then it's still just like a normal shonen show. But hey, it looks great. Well, okay, well I don't care. But like, it's got the whole package.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on top does City have aura? Does it have
Shut up.
Those high moments?
Stop saying that. You're over 30 years old. Fucking hell.
That's not very cap of you, Eero.
Oh my god. Sorry, I'm not black. I'm not going to use AEVE in my everyday language. I'm not going to appropriate their culture on purpose.
Oh, please. Now you're turning it into a moral sin.
Boom. I know, I'm kidding. Anyway, yes, it's fun that we have our incredibly stupid, like, raunchy, lowest common denominator, gross out humor, Panty Stocking, and also City are like wholesome, just kind of goofy.
City would be kind of
Love
more
Wins comedy, right? Like
City would be kind of more in the Apocalypse Hotel field,
right?
Yeah, whereas Panty and Stocking is just the lowest comedy.
I think
it's
pussy.
Yeah,
it really is a testament to both that I feel like I have laughed probably equally hard
equal amounts.
Both of these shows so far. That's really promising to me.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad.
I think these two shows will be able to find their respective comedy niches this season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's good.
So definitely looking forward to that. It's probably my favorite thing going this season. But what would you as we're wrapping things up, because that's our last show? What are you guys picking as the best thing this season so far?
Best. Scare quotes best.
You gotta. What's the the top of the list here? Obviously there's a lot of good things.
Takopi is my scare quotes. This is probably the best show of the season on a scare quotes objective level. But the show I'm probably enjoying the most personally is probably Panty and Stocking.
Okay,
because it is bringing me back to another time.
Yes. I think for me it is probably like, yes, it is a dead heat between Panty and Stocking and City. I think I probably lean slightly closer to Panty and Stocking just for the like in terms of the like what am I most excited to look like what am I most excited for
Right.
week to week. It is probably Panty and Stocking,
Yes.
but it's very close between the two.
What about you, Aqua?
Oh, Takopi, like no competition.
Right. We'll ask you again in 3 to 4 weeks, I guess.
Yeah. When that show is over.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, second is probably for me is Hikaru. That's just like I'm the Debbie Downer.
Both of those
That's just
shows
my
seem
kind of
very.
vibes.
Both those shows seem. Whereas,
Hikaru is one of the most Documentary shows I've seen in months.
yeah, those are very Aqua. Whereas like City is like very much in my like wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's a lot of good choices, right? Like so.
It's again, season's off to a great start.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then that will do it then
Hooray.
for our first looks. We have shows to look forward to. Anime is back. So let's wrap
saved
things
anime
up
once again.
Yeah, anime has been trigger saved anime once again. Let's wrap it up with our housekeeping. You can check us out at theglorioblog.com, where we have a bunch of other first looks for shows, including things that we did not talk about here that we did not have time and probably weren't worth mentioning. But if you want to hear about some other shows, go check that out. You can follow us on Blue Sky at GLORIO You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, Stitcher, and of course YouTube, where you can like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, all those good things. Tell us what shows you're watching, and if there's some hidden thing out there that we missed.
Tell us what's peak fiction so that we can ignore it.
I got to admit, we actually called most of these shows, or at least enough to put them on our preview. So we actually haven't been surprised by too many of these, I don't think, but maybe surprised at how good some of them were, but they were at least on our radar, right? So
I think so.
But yes, if there's anything we missed out there, let us know. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, and we'll catch everybody next time.